station celebrating 65 years of broadcasting. Sports Hub headlines.
The New England Patriots will be on the clock tonight with the 31st overall pick in the NFL draft. They'll be making that pick about an hour earlier than normal as the NFL has switched to an 8-minute gap between picks, down from 10. Patriots head coach Mike Vrabel told ESPN that he'll miss day 3 of the draft as he seeks counseling. Vrabel said, quote, "I have always wanted to lead by example, and I believe this is what I have to do to be the best husband, father, and coach that I possibly can be." The Boston Red Sox losers again, dropping a second straight game to the Yankees. This one a 4-1 final score at Fenway. Ranger Suarez couldn't make it out of the 5th, while Max Fried did not allow a run in his 8 innings of work. Finale of that series gets an early start tonight with first pitch at 6:10. In more promising news, the Bruins return to home ice for Game 3 of their first-round playoff series against the Sabres. The winner of Game 3 in a 1-1 series has gone on to win 66% of the time in NHL history. Puck drop at 7 p.m. at the Garden. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Cape Cod Lumber and CCL Homescapes, 100% employee-owned, your go-to independent lumberyard. Partner with CCL and CCL Homescapes for all your building needs right in Abington. I'm Michael Hurley. Next update at the bottom of the hour.
Listen to it, laugh at it, get mad at it, agree with it, argue about it. It is Boston Sports. Boston Sports. And it is all we do. 98.5, the Sports Hub.
Ladies and gentlemen, I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Toucher
Yes, I finally shaved my nuts.
and Hardy
Who, me?
Just hanging around.
on 98.5.
Fingerman, I heard about you.
Yeah.
We're Costco guys. Of course we go shopping while eating a chicken bake.
That's gross.
Not a great cook, but I do cook.
When I asked him about the sides,
Kick them in the balls.
I don't care about it, but it's not good behavior.
Blaze Bailey is omitted.
Toucher and Hardy
We're the best friends that can be, my buddy and me.
on 98.5, the Sports Hub.
Let's go.
We're in Boston, not in L.A.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. It's the Toucher and Hardy show. No one's here except for the guys that actually run the show in the back. Adam 12.
Good morning.
Ryan Beaton. Nick Giamelli in the back. Today, we are joined by Andrew Callahan of the Boston Herald.
Happy draft day.
Happy draft day. We are joined by, that's my Vegas flu going right there, if you know what that is. Michael Hurley is here this morning.
Happy Red Sox Yankees Day. Is that a
That's
thing?
right.
Yeah.
Michael Hurley of various outlets such as NBC Sports Boston,
That's one.
98.5 The Sports Hub.
Yeah. Doing some BSJ work.
BSJ. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Actually, some editing, too. If there's an NFL draft program that came out on the internet. You can find my name in there, too.
Okay.
That's it. That's the biggest one.
Well, draft day's here. The buzz. What has more buzz? Red Sox, Yankees, or the NFL draft?
No, it's the NFL draft. I mean, even if the Sox and Yankees were, 15-5 and battling it out for the top of the AL East in the April crown. By the way, when you said Vegas flu, my first thought ran to like the clap or something, because that would be the perfect euphemism for some horrible STD you wish you could leave in Vegas with everything else that stays in Vegas. But I'm glad to hear it's just, is it a regular flu? Like, how far should I be sitting from you?
No. It's no flu. It's just a term of I'm still turning around from Vegas. I went for 3 days, and I was fine while I was there. The booze was flowing, and I haven't let loose. I literally work, guys. I'm not lying to you. This isn't a flex. I work 7 days, and so I think I got 4 days to myself, and I used 3 of them to drink Red Bull and vodka.
I didn't know you were 19 years old. That's pretty sick.
Well, that's the thing. I'm 44. You're right. And we also did a lot of walking, which is not a thing of mine. But I think I walked 10 miles in 3 days. That's a lot. It's a lot of miles. So I just think now that I'm back home and the plane rides and everything like that, it's just all. And when I came back, there was literally a sportsgasm. There was so much going on. The Boston Marathon was happening. This is actually one of the biggest weeks of the year, and not to mention, the Kentucky Derby days in a couple of weeks. You got the NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs. But are you really serious that the draft is the biggest thing today?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, the Patriots are the biggest show in town. The NFL is the biggest league that we have. The Sox stink. It's a midweek game against the Yankees in April, and it's about 40 degrees out. Oh, and then the Celtics and Bruins are in the playoffs. So you can make a case for the Bruins, who I think, unfortunately, are just going to be fourth place right now, unless the Celtics lose, which they did, and then you go, oh, should we?
Fourth place?
Again? Yeah. Among the 4 teams in the city?
No. How did you guys prioritize Tuesday night? For me, it was Bruins.
Well, generally speaking.
Bruins, Celtics, Red Sox.
I was on Celtics because Peacock, you can't channel surf. You have to just stay on the app.
I threw them on the laptop. They were screen two. And then the Red Sox, despite the half-hour head start, were so juiceless that it was like, you guys are back burner tonight.
The thing is, if we spend, as we do every year and did again this year, 4.5 months of build-up and prospects and mock drafts and trades. Did you hear about this? Do you know about that guy from Division II Nobody Cares State? When the draft finally gets here, man, we gotta pay attention. This is what all that build-up is for.
Yeah, buzz. I get it. The last couple of years, they were picking low, and we're wondering who it was. This is a down draft. And listen, I love college football. I watch every week. I could probably tell you a lot of these guys where they went to college and all that stuff. I got nothing for tonight's draft. And maybe it's the first time in a long time. I know there's draft people out there, so I don't want to, put it down. But normally in this part of the show, the guys like to just talk about their lives and what's going on and whatever. And I just can't get over this statement that has happened overnight. Andrew, I was curious how you felt about this. I called it a ruse. I was on Tuesday afternoon, and we were told 2 players were going to be talking at the podium. And I thought it was interesting because, are these 2 players going to have to actually speak for their head coach? Are they're actually just going to put 2 guys out there who's going to speak for the coach? And then Stacey James, who, again, as Michael Hawley told me yesterday, is not your friend. That is what he told me. Brings in Mike Vrabel, who brings a statement. The statement's recorded, then it's stopped. Then there's no recordings, and he talks to the few that were there. I feel like if it was known that Mike Vrabel would have been there would have been a full assortment of media. So I guess I'm wondering if this was handled well. And I think we're getting the old double down now as I have to look into this. I can't ever remember hearing about a coach not being at the draft, as it was reported last night. Mike Vrabel in a statement said that on day 3, he's going to be with his family to seek counseling. So this is all happening very fast. I did not want this to impact the football team. Do you think him not being there will impact the football team?
Not Saturday, because none of the players are going to be there, and obviously the draft is much more of a front office focus. To go back to the press conference, in the spirit of full transparency, I also was not there. Doug Kyde covered that for us at the Herald. I haven't been away for several days for family-related reasons, positive, but nonetheless away, and he's helped cover for me. And so the background on this is, the Patriots typically do make 2 players available, a player available twice a week once the offseason program starts, as a way to stay in headlines, make them available to the media, free agents, veterans we haven't talked to since the last game that they had played. And you work and live off of those stories each week up until, say, minicamp. So when they announce, hey, 2 players are going to speak Monday or Tuesday, okay, great, cool. Sounds like business as usual. And then it wasn't. It was a clear bait and switch, and doesn't mean anything to me that Mike claimed that he told Stacey, oh, you know what, let me have this one. And I am both glad that he did that and spoke first about the own mess that he had made and did not use the players as a shield and then a mop for said mess and let them speak first. But I think it undermines some of the sincerity of the message. And look, had I not had family reasons, would have been there. And then we could have kind of had it out a little bit about the process and how they were going about this. Because I think he's someone who has handled tough questions plenty of times before and deflected. He had 2 star players facing serious criminal charges in December, Stephon Diggs and Christian Barmore. Handled that just fine. He's an expert up there. So why turn the cameras off? Which says to me, and I said this last night on BST, this was not about setting the record straight. It wasn't certainly about any kind of vulnerability, the way he spoke broadly and not in cliche, but you heard that wasn't necessarily from the heart. It was about reasserting control. Because the only video from that press conference was of the statement that he had carefully crafted, clearly prepared, or at least rehearsed. And so when the only thing that's out there is what they want out there, they feel like there's nothing to lose because that video can be clipped in any kind of way, but it's still the message they wanted, not a response to a question they could not control. And what Mike Vrabel had lost by waiting 2 weeks to address this was control over the narrative, over optics, over the social media firestorm. So that's what Tuesday was about. And yet, we can both go, and Hurley, I don't know how you felt about this. They did, from a PR standpoint, probably what was in their best interest. And yet, I don't feel, at that point, didn't feel any better about the situation and Mike Vrabel because of the way that it was set up and handled.
I don't even know if it was in their best interest. Like, in theory it is, but when you make everyone turn their cameras off at a press conference, it's not a press conference. I don't know what it is. It's a way of getting everyone in the room to feel a certain way and report a certain thing, but I don't think it was necessary. I don't think anyone was going to come out of that press conference had it been there for all of us to see and hear and be like, wow, bad for Vrabel, bad for the Patriots. I think they would have been like, all right, Vrabel handled that pretty well. But by creating this layer of secrecy unnecessarily, I don't know that it serves them well.
I don't either. Full transparency. I was live on the air, heard everything. We talked with Karen Gregan after. I felt like he was accountable. He said things without having to say them. But I think there are more questions than answers now. And now I don't know what's happening, because I kind of agree with you, Andrew, that the message was the message. Like, you could have just, anything that got brought up again, you could have just been like, there's a statement for that. Mm-hmm. Do you want me to email that to you? So did they get out in front of it? I think they tried to. And now the NFL draft is literally, this is what I mean about the buzz. The NFL draft, because they're not at the top and it's not sexy this year and the big names aren't out there, let's just be honest. This is the story of the draft. This will be the story of the draft. And I'll be honest with you guys. When I was in Vegas, I was at the tables asking people, hey, did you hear about the Vrabel? Nope, not even a thing. So people who are sports fans.
Like strangers,
hey, did you guys hear about this Vrabel thing? No. So I'm almost wondering if they were in their own head about it. Now, granted, Post, TMZ, all that's pretty big, right? Pretty big stuff. I wonder if they're now getting ahead of something that we don't know about yet. And I'm no sleuth. I'm not a reporter. I got a sniffer, though. Yeah, Adam, I got the sniffer.
Smelly.
Something smelly.
So Joe, since you just tagged me in, I'd like to share a little bit of my theory on this, just because of the Michael. Do you still have the statement, the part of the statement that you read during your headlines?
Yes.
Could you read that again, please?
All right. This is Mike Vrabel saying, quote, "I have always wanted to lead by example, and I believe this is what I have to do to be the best husband, father, and coach that I possibly can be."
Yeah. The best. He led with husband. This is just my theory. As a person, this is a case of, okay, this has reached a point where his family, probably his wife, has said, look, you need to show us, not tell us. You say your family's important, then you prioritize us over your job. And the compromise is you're missing out on the draft to come and go to counseling and handle your business.
And he's like, yeah, I'll miss the draft day 3.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Saturday.
But that's the compromise. Like that statement read like that, where it was like, okay, this is how I'm going to kind of handle that whole situation.
So I agree with you. And just real quick on this.
Thank you.
Whatever is the allegations, it sounds like there might be some guilt or humiliation. I should use the word, because he used that. In these situations, there are two sides in this. There are two people, and obviously the children. This is holding accountability and showing it. You can say one thing, and a statement can be one thing, like you said, Andrew. Now I think this is the other side, the other person showing a statement. But yes, third day instead of the first day.
That
or whatever.
Becomes the compromise.
But
right?
I'm sure in this situation, there is a you care about the football team more than me kind of thing. And I just feel like there's more to it, Andrew. That's all.
So this is the hard part for me with this whole story as journalist who comes in here and we kind of straddle the line, joke around, do the entertainment piece, is what Adam just laid out is persuasive to me, and I believe that. I also, as I felt now for 2+ weeks, have wanted more concrete information because there just hasn't been a whole lot of that, and so that's why I put a lot of stock into the statements that Vrabel has made. First of all, we can't forget saying that any suggestion those photos were anything other than innocent was, quote, laughable. And then we get this very serious statement where I understand he can't come out and give all of the, alleged salacious, dirty details about what happened. But to me, when you speak that generally, it just made the words sound a little bit hollow, even if the voice comes across and his posture as pretty sincere, and that's probably how he feels. And then the issue becomes with this statement released overnight to ESPN. And look, if you were going to trust your vulnerabilities with any media member on the local beat and have the trust in them to say, I'm going to counseling, it's Mike Reese and then it's everybody else. So I understand that choice. It just, we get to a point with the initial statement about, oh, this is laughable, and then the bait and switch with the press conference, that it's just hard for me to accept this, even though I wholeheartedly endorse anyone going to counseling or therapy to make themselves better, as Vrabel says he wants to do, because it just is something that has come about in a way that the benefit of the doubt is no longer there for him in this type of arena. As a football coach, he's still a savant. He's top 5. He's been to a Super Bowl, all those different things. But the last 2.5 weeks have been harder to trust the guy that you think you knew and heard from, and his judgment and everything that's gone into this, because it just doesn't align with the man and the coach who had been preaching accountability. Because I didn't hear, Joe, like you thought, as much accountability in the second statement on Tuesday from the press conference.
So you didn't feel like when he talked, because I do think he needed to address the team first.
Absolutely, but there's also I feel like there's a little bit of hiding in that, because over 2 weeks you can call every player, you can knock out 5 a day and say, hey, I'm sorry that this is lapping up upon your shores and you have to answer for this. Someone in your life is asking you about this, and then take care of it, nip it in the bud in that first meeting and go from there. Because to me, I just, there wasn't enough, I want to say ownership, and I know there was a lot of subtext. Like the subtext spoke loudest from that statement on Tuesday. But if you were going to take accountability, part of that is answering for what happened. And when the answering of what happened takes place, A, off camera, and then B, doesn't involve any questions regarding Diana Rossini, the whole situation, to me, that's where the last part of the accountability is missing. And you don't get full credit for something, particularly when it was staged that way.
They did. Karen said that it was off the record, of course.
In 20 minutes. So he sat with everybody for a while, and he's comfortable there. But that speaks to more control to me than account.
I'll agree with the control thing. But Karen did ask about Rossini, and he said he can't talk about it right now. He was asked about the laughable statement.
That was a great question.
Yeah, because
Hey, you said it was laughable. You still think so? But that would have been on camera played differently than it did on text.
There you go.
Right.
So, yeah, I will agree that there was probably more control than accountability. And this is interesting, man. Like I don't know where to go with this, because again, you cover the team. You have to talk to this guy every day. I felt like that maybe that's what that moment was about. Like, he's going to have to see these people every day and wants to be accountable, cares about his reputation. And
yeah, for sure.
So I just, this is a very sensitive subject. And my only thing is, this was a news dump last night by Mike Reese, of course, who had the privileged information.
Through Mike Reese.
Through Mike Reese at 12:30 at night. Who was awake for this? You were, actually.
Well, Doug Kide was.
Doug Kide, he goes, dude, you see this?
Yeah, you up?
12:10 a.m. the publishing time on that.
Yep. And then I saw it because I posted it later, and I was like, oh, it's already in there in our Slack channel. There is more to come, but I just wonder if there's more. And yesterday there was more photos and more this and that. And
are you talking about the ones of breakfast, allegedly?
That's why I think there's not more to come. Like, if those are getting published, I think the juice has been squeezed out of that story.
It's already been squeezed?
They're barely. Are they really in
those
that photo?
photos were taken with an iPhone 3 and through like a window 100 yards away, and you can kind of see Diana and then some dude's shoulder and sunglasses. And because we know Mike likes to wear sunglasses, you're like, oh, that may or may not have been him. And I want to just end on this because I know we're going to talk more about this, but I want to stress something in the middle that I said. if he believes counseling is best for him and therapy, wholeheartedly support that for him and anybody else, particularly in a difficult time. That's not to be lost in like, oh, I don't like how you handled the press conference. And then the initial statement looks like man allegedly who has an affair follows up and continues lying. That's not a surprise to me when calling it this laughable. If this is where he and his family are, I'm glad that they've reached that place and get the help that they need. And I hope they can move forward. That's the most important sentiment I can have as a human being, and then secondarily as a reporter, even if we have to do a lot more sifting through this than I would have expected based on how this has unfolded.
Do you think there was a quality control? It sounds like it wasn't consulted. Should it have been consulted?
Which part?
Just the whole statement. Everything. Him going away for a couple
Well, we have 3 now.
I don't get why, if this was in the plans, you would want to do this Tuesday.
Yes.
Because now it's draft day. And I was saying all week, like I was in over the weekend, and it was like, Vrabel has to get in front of this because otherwise he'll talk Thursday night, and they'll have just drafted a kid in the first round whose lifetime dreams have come true, and the big story the next day will be the coach talks for the first time. So they had to get it out, and now it's draft day, and there's a new piece.
Yeah. I'm here with 2 people, a sleuth and Michael Hurley, who has covered many of a scandal. Could you call them that, or a gate?
I've had a lot of gates in my day.
A lot of gates. And Andrew Callahan, who, you just kind of, you've done both ethics and morals in this segment. And is there what's the other side of that, right? There's ethics, morals, there's sleuthing, there's sniffing. I mean, and then there's the truth.
I think we have a podcast, Sniffing and Sleuthing, with Joe Murray and guests.
I kind of like that. Hey, and we have a million callers on hold, so why don't we get to them? We will have what happened last night. The Bruins, they'll play Game 3 over at the Garden. Red Sox, Yankees, if you care about that. Sounds like a big prospect maybe getting the start tonight as well. Whatever you guys want to talk about, we're here till 10 a.m. It is draft day as well. We'll talk to Alex Barth. Later on, Tom Caron from Nesson. He'll join us as well. We'll take a quick break. We got Andrew Callahan, Michael Hurley. I'm Joe Murray here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Smelly.
More.
All right, what happened last night brought to you by Leonard Hair Transplant Associates, where your hair doesn't have to be a game of what happened. So change your lettuce and change your life with Dr. Matthew Lopresti at 1-800-GET-HAIR. Well, we'll certainly tell you what happened last night in a bit. But I'm just going to read the statement one more time. This was through Mike Reese last night. News story: Mike Vrabel won't be with the Patriots for day 3 of the draft as he seeks counseling. Vrabel issued a statement on ESPN. As said the other day, I promised my family, this organization, and this team that I was going to give them the best version of me that I can possibly give them. In order to do so, I have committed to seeking counseling starting this weekend. This is something that I've given a lot of thought about, and it's something I would advise a player to do if I was counseling them. I've always wanted to lead by example, and I believe that this is what I have to do to be the best husband, father, and coach that I possibly can be. This is not an easy thing for me to admit, but it is one that I know will make me a better person. I appreciate the support that everyone has given me and promise a stronger resolve as a result. So should we just kind of talk about what he said here? Like, this is more accountability, right? Or is this accountability?
I think it's vulnerability, which in some instances, given, again, my criticism of the statement and how they acted Tuesday was not particularly personal. Like, I didn't know what Mike Vrabel felt. I didn't know what Mike Vrabel thought. I know he spoke to us for 2.5 minutes. A lot of it sounded good, but there wasn't a lot of heart behind it. And again, he doesn't owe me that, but if you're going to wait 2 weeks and then discuss something that's kind of personal and talk about, being better, the best version of yourself moving forward, well, what does that mean specifically? And why do you think and feel that way? We didn't get that. Here, obviously, it's there. The vulnerability, I think, frankly, some more honesty. And again, I'll reiterate, look, as someone who's been to therapy, and it's been a great help to me, like, go do this, whether it's for you and your wife, you personally, the family, whatever it is. He says it's not an easy thing for me to admit. I believe that. And he knows it'll make me a better person. Granted, we all know that this is going to be swept up under, the whole tow and waves of all the NFL draft updates and the rumors and everything that's going to come tonight. So that timing, I think, is intentional. But the content of what's happening, him missing a day of the draft, going to counseling, is the headline here. And a headline, frankly, I didn't think I'd see and maybe not see from any head coach.
Counseling for what?
It's a great question. But that's pretty personal.
I mean, it's something I think we can talk about, though, right? I mean, listen, we all make mistakes. Whether it's we make mistakes, whether we intentionally do them or not. Sometimes we make mistakes and do get caught. We're human. We make poor choices, and sometimes we need to. Hey, therapy's real, guys. I know we're on a radio station of men who might not admit this stuff, right? Right, Adam 12? Where a lot of guys rub some dirt on it. Take some tussin was something I always got.
Oh, the tussin, absolutely. Put some tussin on.
But things are different nowadays.
Guess what? It didn't work.
It didn't work. That's right.
Happily, just had my therapy appointment yesterday.
There you go.
Set my head right.
I've done therapy myself, so
it helps.
You guys have children, right? You don't want your children to endure some of the things that you guys learned, right?
Well, especially, Joe, this is a macho man in Mike Vrabel, a football player, a champion, like a guy's guy. So he even said in that quote, like, this is difficult for me to admit, but it's what I need to do.
There is also an emotional intelligence, though, with Mike that is present, and not even in an operational football way. But I know, for example, wrote a story a couple of months ago about Mike Smith, their outside linebackers coach, dealt with PTSD, alcoholism. Even before Mike Smith came aboard in New England, Mike had spoken to him because they became friends through other friends and said, look, take care of your family. That matters most. And he said, Mike Smith, to me, that message really resonated in a way nothing else did with Vrabel, where we all know these guys are in it for themselves as much as you want to talk about putting food on the table. Like, there are things you can only find on Sundays, and that's what they do this for, is to go experience that thrill, the competition, the addiction of it all, etc. But for Vrabel to say this, I do think if I was to power rank in the world's weirdest power rankings of head coaches most likely to admit to therapy, Mike Vrabel's probably at the top. It's just that I don't even know if you would ever get a name on that list checked because still of the profession and the things that they often don't have to admit to because you're the head of an organization. You're not beholden to anyone except for the owner. and then the bottom line of the NFL, because those are their morals and ethics, their business, and that's it.
So I know this. I'm joking when I say that. Sometimes in uncomfortable situations, I like to make jokes. Tony Soprano even went to therapy. Okay, and in the end, it might have led to more of his crime or more of his cerebral moves. But yeah, even the toughest guys in the world can seek therapy. But that's a good point, Mike, about the Macho Man thing. Like this, he has to coach a football team. He was also a guy that was catered his whole life, went to a big-time college, went through some adversity early in his career, won multiple championships, made comments to the Crafts about, hey, look at this beautiful place, and then was shipped out of town, right? Then rose to the ranks as a coach, had success with Tennessee, had failure with Tennessee. And I'm almost curious if there were things ever going back to them. We can talk about that another time. But he was humbled, right? He took a year off, came to the Patriots. Like, he's had a lot of success and I guess he has been humbled this year. I mean, this is a guy off a Super Bowl, guys, right? This is a guy that's like riding high with Drake May, and all the players loved him, right? Every free agent, you talk about it. He defended guys. He goes to war at the draft, or he's one-on-one with guys. And now he's in the limelight for something with a reporter that he had a friendship with. We always knew that there was a public friendship there. Just sometimes, like, I hate to admit this, but like, people get caught. It happens. It sucks. And I think when you do, you realize you had a problem and you let it go on for a long time. I'm glad he's seeking therapy. My only thing is this. They didn't have to announce that. So maybe.
So why did he?
Well, it's interesting, Joe, because I just saw this tweet from Greg Bedard, who sat in that chair the other day, saying, not a big story.
Yeah.
It's a big.
You're your boss now, right?
It's a big talk. Yeah. A big talker, but not really that interesting. He said this is now a full-blown PR disaster by the Patriots. Why now, after he just spoke to the team in media, why not do this privately? And then to your point, is something else coming? So if Greg Bedard's got the sniffer out after saying what he did the other day.
Does Greg have a good sniff for everything?
He's been around for a while.
Smelly.
These guys that are just, Andrew, you're probably one of these guys too, man. You just... something doesn't seem right, right? And right. You start digging around a little bit.
Stinky.
Very stinky. Can I just give you a scenario? They didn't have to do this.
No.
They could have just on day 3. Would we have known on Saturday? Are you going to be? It's not the old Saturday NFL draft, guys. Okay, where I used to drink every pick. All right, those days are over. Would we have even known if Mike Vrabel was there on Saturday or not? And why couldn't they start the rehab on Sunday? Is this me being insensitive now?
Or Monday.
Oh, Monday.
That doctor's like, what? That doctor read that statement a minute, like, I got to work Saturday?
Yeah, therapy on Saturday, again, I don't know about that. Maybe there is. I don't know. Normally it's during the week.
You pay enough money.
It's the big time, see the specialist kind of. Nobody would have known if he went on his way and they did the draft. I know what I feel. This is where I feel bad for his family. I do.
Well, here, hold on. We wouldn't have known Saturday. But the way that the Patriots have typically conducted their business, and they've got 8 picks on day 3, is you see those videos, right, inside the war room. And you feel like you're getting an inside peek of something that has been so thoroughly vetted. And you have everything blurred out on the big board that you get the little snippets of Robert Kraft saying hello, somebody else putting the phone down, the other player who they picked crying on the other end of the phone, and that's it. We would have looked at that video at the very least and gone, where's Mike Vrabel? Where's the biggest dude here? And then when that happens Monday or Tuesday, as we start to comb through the video, everyone's got a sniffer out. And you go, oh, okay, by the way, he's gone to counseling. And they, again, are playing catch up. So this is what they're doing now, I think, is getting ahead of this in a way that they did not with his statement on Tuesday, and instead thought a bait and switch would get by us. To me, that's what I think this is, if nothing else. Or, as Adam posited, is this a matter of something that has been, I don't want to say triggered, but started by his wife being like, if this is counseling, and this is all speculation, obviously, okay, show it to me. Okay, don't tell me how much this means to you. I want to see it, and this obviously would cost him professionally not being there on day 3 of the draft.
Yeah. I agree with probably that last part, but hypothetically, let's say we watch the videos, where is Vrabel? And they're like, yeah, he's seeking counseling. I don't think anyone says anything. I think everyone's like, good for him. I'm glad he's taking care of business.
Oh, we definitely would have said something. Look, what kind of all the stuff we're saying now? What kind of counseling is it? Why didn't you say anything? How long is he going to be away? And now at least they have a couple of days where if he does want to take questions, he can or cannot because they listed him as an either or. Like they're on the press conference depth chart of a college team that doesn't want to tell you who's starting week 1. Elliott Wolf or Mike Vrabel is going to talk tonight. And then Elliott Wolf or Mike Vrabel is going to talk Friday. If they want to answer this, they kind of see how the water is, the reaction today. They listen to us. They listen to every midday show, see what the temperature is like in NBC Sports Boston, and then go, yeah, you know what, Mike? I think the waters are safe. You can go out there Thursday, take 1 or 2 questions, and then keep it to football.
Oof. When this happened the other day, I know we were getting the calls right away from the Hardos. All right, he said what he said. Let's talk football. I think this is one we all have to flush out. This is a polarizing figure, man. This is a big time story.
It also happened 6 hours ago. You know, we all woke up to this. You want me just to skip over the front page of the newspaper?
Like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a tough one. Let's hear from you guys. You guys have heard from us. Let's start with Ryan. What's going on, Ryan?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Listen, I saw this report last night. It's such a farce. This is clearly for just the media and people that are angry. You're telling me you're going to miss a 6 or 7 hour day on day 3 for counseling? Counseling's like an hour or 2 on a Saturday. They could have clearly moved that. I just don't see why you even have to mention it. Also, Andrew, Malachi Lawrence tonight. Let's go get him.
I'll make the pick. I'll do it. If Mike doesn't want to go tonight, I'll be there. Malachi Lawrence on behalf of our guy Ryan.
You like Malachi Lawrence?
I think he's fine. I think he fits what they want. Like Elliott Wolf talking the other day about, they want probably more speed off of the edge. Lawrence fits more than a guy like Zion Young, who I've been talking about again and again and again during draft season. But look, if we really want to get into this, and we already are, the quote says, "I've committed to seeking counseling starting this weekend." Joe, when you played hide and seek as a kid, did you always find the person you were looking for?
Not always.
I am not suggesting Mike Vrabel will not go to counseling. I'm just saying I think that word choice is intentional. And if seeking counseling leads to counseling starting on Monday, then Saturday really is about being with his family. And as Mike Reese writes in his story, this is not a quote, except these are the words Reese has put here. So these are not from Mike Vrabel, but from Mike Reese. Quote, Vrabel, who has 2 sons with his wife, Jen, plans to be with his family this weekend outside of Massachusetts. So that, again, supports the Adam 12 theory of this is something between him and his wife. And if you really, again, wanted parts into the word choice here, counseling versus therapy, you hear about marriage counseling.
Yeah, counseling.
You don't hear about marriage therapy.
Yeah, that's true. Good point on that one. John, what's going on, John?
Hey, guys, I love you all. Hurley and Callahan, love you guys. And you're right. I feel bad for you. This is unfair to you guys. However, make no mistake, I think this was handled correctly, and it isn't about you guys. This isn't about controlling the message. It's about all the stuff around the message. So if you without the sneak attack, you have Steve Cooper in there with his fake tough guy crap banging on a door he knows isn't going to get answered, but just gets his face on TV. And then, Joe, you got to stop using the phrase off the record. Off the record is for information you're giving, but you can't attribute. It was attributed to Mike. They just didn't want recordings so that Inside Edition or non-sports stations will just put his face up there and pontificate with a worthless clip. So what they do now is it stays with the sports discussion until the salaciousness dies down, and then he can have a real discussion.
I'm not a reporter. I'm sorry.
Sounds like John's a professor or had some PR journalism background, because he's absolutely right about the on-off record thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Again, all right, so what just so I can have it correct, when you don't record something and don't have audio or video, what do you call that?
If you don't record any of the audio or
it
video.
wasn't recorded. There was no audio. There was no video. It was just transcribed.
Yeah, look, I would say, it was transcribed, so I'm sure there's audio. Because there's no way that Mike Vrabel would want you just to write something and attribute it to him based on memory. Okay. Or like the old school journalists.
The right way to say it.
Yeah. No,
I used to transcribe with my hand.
You still
That's
see
how
people
old
do
I
that.
am.
This is insane, and they're all.
I think Barth might have done it this weekend. That's how we got all the stuff that happened off the record.
So
still looking for the right word.
He's
on that.
right. Like you can you can't attribute something that is off the record. You can also speak to someone, quote, on background. But everything said to a journalist, like, you are the walking record here. If you want something off the record, that has to be upfront and clear. Otherwise, if you're there in a professional capacity, this isn't you bump into him at the supermarket. Ultimately it's, what you say is on the record, and particularly in a press conference. But this again, I can see where John was coming from. It's about control, but also kind of steering things where they want it to go and everything around it, whether it's the social media piece or the player's reaction, because they can't react to a clip that's been twisted on Instagram where they live anyway. He said something about Steve Cooper knocking on the door. Whatever happened to Gary Cooper?
Ooh, Gary Cooper.
The strong, silent type.
Gary Cooper.
It was a man.
All right, well, I'm working with two guys who write, and I am, just for the record, I am not a reporter.
Well, you're not the only one with the sniffer. I just opened Twitter for the first time of the day, and basically everyone's just like eyebrow raised by this news.
You get to have fun, though, Joe. I get to sit here and kind of, like, Fred has called me out on this so many times, like, what's wrong with you? Just spit it out. I'm like, I can't. There's the element of, is this Andrew Callahan, the Boston Herald, speaking? Is this on the record with him? Or is this Andrew Callahan, part-time at 98.5 The Sports Hub talking? Because that guy is not bound by any kind of journalistic ethics.
May I just tell you that my agreement with Nesson is, on Nesson, I won't, say, that John Henry guy, here, I'll just do whatever I want.
That doesn't bug you over there?
No, because they own the station and I respect them.
And they're paying you.
That's correct.
Everyone's got a boss.
I'm not a shill or anything. I just...
That would bug me to no end. But
listen, if their roster construction's bad, which it is, I'm going to say it. I'm just not going to call anybody cheap on their station.
We could, you know what? You mentioned Hurley and I are writers. We can find some euphemisms for cheap in the break and just kind of slide them over to you. And next time you're doing the show, budget challenged.
Yes,
slipping down into the middle of the pack in terms of spending, but things rebound.
He's used a couple of words this year that Breslow has used some words that like synergistic is one that we've used a couple of times.
Oh no.
It's getting scary with those Red Sox, which they did play last night. But you know what? Who cares about them right now? I don't. We'll break. We have to break because I'm getting yelled at once again for not being on the clock. We're going to get a headline here from Michael Hurley. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines.
As you heard us talking about some Patriots news breaking overnight, as head coach Mike Vrabel told ESPN that he will not be around for day 3 of the draft this weekend as he seeks counseling with his family, saying, quote, "This is something that I have given a lot of thought to and is something I would advise a player to do if I was counseling them." In baseball, Max Fried threw 8 shutout innings at Fenway Park, and the Yankees rolled to a 4-1 win over the Red Sox. Boston, now 9-15, the second worst record in the American League, the third worst OPS in Major League Baseball. Fun times. Series finale gets underway tonight at 6:10. In actual fun times, playoff hockey returns to Boston tonight for the first time in 2 years. The Bruins hosting the Sabres in Game 3 of their first-round series. That series is tied up at 1 game apiece. Puck drop at 7 p.m. Elsewhere in the Eastern Conference playoffs, the Flyers took a 3-0 series lead over the Penguins last night. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by IBEW Local 103 and Nika Electrical Contractors. IBEW 103 is celebrating 125 years of powering Greater Boston. To find a qualified contractor for your next electrical, telecom, or security project today, visit thepowerprofessionals.org. I'm Michael Hurley. Next update in 30 minutes.
I hope I've introduced everybody. Andrew Callahan, Boston Herald's here. 2 Stats, 1 Lie today, right? I believe that will be
coming up at 8.
8 o'clock, I was going to say it. I know Nick's made a few songs, but in my head this morning, I was singing some songs of 2 Stats, 1 Lie.
Oh, man.
Do you guys have 2 stats living in just one lie?
We do.
Okay, you have that one.
Yes.
And then I had 2 stats, 1 lie. Hey, hey. You know what that is?
No, what is that?
Too legit to quit.
Oh. we could produce. I don't know that we'll be able to turn that around by 8 o'clock, but that's a good idea for the future.
Okay,
Come on, Nick.
Again, that was what I was doing this while I was getting ready this morning. So whatever songs I was thinking.
So Nick and I were in the shower with you.
Pretty much, yes.
Okay, good.
Yes, and I tell Fred every day. I wake up to Fred, and Fred tells me he goes to bed to me.
Aw.
So it's just a loving relationship. Michael Hurley's here of the BSJ now, huh? Bedard has spoken.
Oh yeah,
and he did not speak. He did not think it was a story the other day.
He does now,
and it is now.
And every time I open Twitter, there's someone else saying there's got to be more to this story for the Patriots to do this at midnight the day of the draft.
Okay. And do you have what happened last night? Which again is presented by you have what happened last night, which is presented by our friends over at Leonard Hair Transplant. What do we got?
Red Sox Yankees out at Fenway. Sox hoping to stop the bleeding. They got Ranger Suarez on the hill. Starts okay. Paul Goldschmidt grounded to first. Aaron Judge walked. Cody Bellinger strikes out. And then he gives up a double to Giancarlo Stanton to left. So second and third, 2 outs. A mound visit from Andrew Bailey. Andrew Bailey goes back to the dugout. This is what happened next.
And a high drive, left field, back, and gone. Ahmed Rosario with a 3-run torch job. That makes him 4 for 9 with 2 home runs against Suarez. And in a blink of an eye, 3-0 Yankees.
Andrew, I turned the game on literally the moment before that happened, and then turned the game off and went to bed.
I was going to say, have you guys all know baseball, right? Did you know a team could hit a walk-off homer in the top of the first? First time in history a road team has walked it off in the first.
Well, Adam, you missed a great addition to BST, if I might say so, because it was just, do you want to talk about torch job? Myself, Felger, and Michael Holly taking it to the Red Sox for a good 8 minutes in the second block. We'll replay it for you. But yeah, spoiler alert, the Red Sox lost, and they gave up another sac fly to Rosario, which we can skip. Here, or go ahead.
Yeah, sure, why not?
A little audible in the middle here.
No, go ahead. Go to the next one.
Okay, so they lose 4-1, and this is how sad it was on the radio.
And a ground ball at short. Caballero steadies, throws, and picked off by Goldschmidt. That'll do it. Red Sox, at the very least, avoid a shutout. But another one that was very, very tough to watch. 4-1 the final score. The Yankees have won the series. They go for a sweep tomorrow.
Hang the banner. Avoided a shutout to the Yankees on April 22nd. The season feels dead. But first, Jaron Duran wants folks to know, hey, we're still giving it our all.
It sucks you guys don't get to see what we do behind these walls every single day, but I know everybody's working. And I know people are going to say, oh, well, you should work harder. Well, we are. We're working hard as much as we can to make everybody proud. So sometimes we just got to stop trying to please everybody and make ourselves proud of ourselves. And I think that we're going to do that.
So the Red Sox, at this point of the season, are through what is equivalent of 2.5 games in the NFL season. And I hate to be cynical about the Sox. Like, this is the one team I allow myself to be an insane person in front of the TV. I love going. Fenway's my favorite place on earth. But this season does feel lost in a way that I just don't know where their outs are, unless it's people like Roman Anthony and Marcelo Meyer, who's just not playing now. And neither of them did last night, as I understand it. Peyton Tolley's on the hill tonight. The kids both have to develop and lead at the same time, and that's what makes me feel as bad about the future of this team as much as what we've seen here through 24 games.
12 home games, 5 of them they'd scored 2 or fewer runs.
Oof. How about in 20 of the games this year, they've scored 2 or less runs? Wait, how many games did they play? Yeah, they're 9 and 15.
9 and 15.
We could have done 2 stats Red Sox edition.
Do you know what got me last night? I was very, very interested in the over last night. I had an interest.
Was it 7.5?
It was 7.5. I was interested.
So you felt good, really good at the start.
I had an interest in the over. And I thought the Red Sox would at least have to put up some runs. Like, you're not going to get shut out in back-to-back nights. But development, to answer you what you just said, development's their biggest issue. But this is the one that got me last night. Jaron Duran. No, it's second and third.
Nobody
right?
out.
Oh,
Nobody Duran doubled.
Yes. Here we go.
Durbin K, Wong K, and IF K. Bad. Those guys suck. I'm sorry.
Switch the IKF to IFK when he
Yes.
gets up.
Or did I say? Oh, yeah.
No.
Oh, yeah.
I'm saying that was my burn.
Oh, I thought I didn't say IFK. Whatever. Anyways, they all struck out. They suck. The bottom of the lineup's horrendous. The middle of the lineup's horrendous. It's bad. I know it's all roster construction. Then, just so you know, Jaron Duran hits a double again. And what happens? Ground out by Durbin on 2 pitches. Then Wong flies out on the first pitch. 3 pitches they saw after Jaron Duran hit a double.
It's the same as Saturday when they had Skubal sort of on the ropes. Bases loaded, nobody out. Wong grounds out into a double play, a run scores, and then I think it was Kiner Falefa comes up, first pitch, second pitch, pops out to third, inning over. And then they did it twice that day. It's like they have enough to sort of threaten, but not enough to actually deliver anything.
Their 4, 5, 6, and 7 hitters are all batting under 200 from last night. And that'll change, obviously. That's how lineups work. But you can't tell me that the meat of the order isn't rotten, because that's what it was. And we heard so much from Craig Bledsoe, without going too much into a roster construction conversation, about, underwater contracts. We don't want underwater contracts. How about an underwater lineup? Because that's what we're watching here every single night. It stinks.
Andrew Monasterio as your DH against the Yankees, batting 5th.
Throw in from the Brewers who are like, yeah, here you go.
Wait, so I like that. Say that again. You'd rather underwater
contract than an underwater lineup. Because you know why Pete Alonso's not here, Joe? His contract would have been a little below the surface for the Red Sox liking. But look, right next to the didn't get shut out banner that I'm going to be hanging at Fenway as soon as they leave the studio at 10:01 today will be a We Balanced Our Books banner 2026. And good for them. And I hope it's right outside of Craig Breslow's window at his office so he can just stare at that and feel good about it. Because anything else he's staring at Fenway Park, no one feels good about. Here's one thing, though, that if you heard last night, as in the NBA, both the 1 seeds won. Detroit bounced back, and Oklahoma City did to Phoenix what you'd expect Oklahoma would do to Phoenix and take a 2-0 lead. The Mets.
Oh, the Mets.
Finally snapped their losing streak. We were having a conversation off air. Would you rather be the Sox, who suck, or the Mets, who suck but spend? Juan Soto, in another universe, is a member of the Boston Red Sox, and he probably would have gotten hurt, and he wouldn't have been a part of the team. And you would have won. Hey, is Juan Soto keeping in touch with the guys that he plays with and spends most of the year with? Well, right now in New York, it doesn't sound like he is.
You've been talking to guys throughout and trying to, gauge where they're at and try to lift them as we go along here.
No, not at all. I mean, they've been on the road most of the time, so I haven't talked to them.
What?
Does he go on the road too?
Do you have a phone?
Does Juan Soto just have his own cart that drives him to the game?
Is he not in any type of group chat? We all have one.
Yeah.
Some of ours are better than others. Juan Soto's not in any player group chat for the Mets.
Would you like that underwater contract?
See, that's a great counter. That's what Craig can hold on to tonight when the Red Sox probably lose to Cam Schlittler, provided he gets safely into the ballpark somehow.
We can't leave today without listening to Sam Kennedy's comments about cold weather.
Oh yeah, we'll do that.
I can't go home. I can't do it later.
Let's break here, but we'll do it. We'll do it in the next hour.
It wasn't cold at Fenway last night, was it? Because I saw a bomb go out of the stadium.
I saw Max Fried on fire.
Oh yeah. Well, I would like to do that here because I won't be able to do it later.
Yeah,
so.
we'll do it in the 7 o'clock.
That would be very, very, very good.
In on that idea.
Thank you. Oh, we're gonna do in or out today too. So we got 2 stats, 1 lie. We got in or out. We got your calls at 617-779-0985. And we're here until 10 o'clock today. We got a lot going on. It's draft day. Can you feel the buzz? Bzz. We'll have more coming up next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Night, the reigning AFC champion Patriots own the 31st pick as the league kicks off its annual transactions extravaganza tonight in Pittsburgh. That starts at 8 p.m. Head coach Mike Vrabel will not be present for day 3 of the draft on Saturday, as he told ESPN that he will be seeking counseling with his family in the wake of the story that's come out over the past couple of weeks. To baseball, the Red Sox have lost 2 straight to the Yankees. Tonight they'll go up against a highly motivated Cam Schlittler as New York looks to complete the sweep. The Walpole native expects to hear some boos at Fenway tonight after some social media spats with Boston fans last year in the playoffs. Multiple reports indicate that Schlittler will be opposed by Red Sox starter Peyton Tolley. The Celtics will get an extra night of rest before resuming their series in Philadelphia tomorrow night, but the Bruins will be in action for Game 3 against the Sabres tonight at TD Garden. Sabres head coach Lindy Ruff did not say whether it'll be Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen or Alex Lyon as his starting goaltender after Luukkonen was chased from Game 2. Puck drop for that one at 7 o'clock. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Rodenheiser Home Services. Get your AC ready now. Rodenheiser's early season check is just $89. Schedule at rodenheiser.com today. Rodenheiser Home Services. Nice people, great service since 1928. I'm Michael Hurley. Next update in 30 minutes.
Deep 3, violent two-hand slam. Wow.
98.5 Sports Hub.
IYKYK, which obviously YD. Okay?
Dodger and Hardy, mornings on the Sports Hub.
Are you in or out? Gotta know without a doubt. I'm the one you need for a dirty deed. I'm the best. Success is guaranteed.
What's it gonna be, McFly? Are you in or out?
He was too old. So it fit the storyline I was in. Overall, though, WrestleMania was fun. I enjoyed it. I'm not sure if you guys had a chance to watch it on ESPN or anything like that. Money grab, dude. Like it used to be. I love the sport, and it's becoming the NFL. Pigs get fat, and then what?
They get slaughtered.
So I think that's where wrestling's going.
Interesting.
I'm in on the Rock and Stone Cold if we want to do that talk. 99 wrestling. That's all I got for you.
Who's better?
I said it's tough. It's tough.
Brutality.
I'll go The Rock.
I go Stone Cold because The Rock stinks as a. Who's the best wrestling actor of all time?
Oh,
Macho Man.
No, it's
in movies. Sorry.
Yes, it's who plays the guy in the
Batista. Dave Batista.
Dave Batista. Without question.
Probably.
Hands down. He's a legit actor.
Yeah,
he's good.
He's good.
Yeah,
he's Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
By the way, has anybody seen the Hulk Hogan or heard about the Hulk Hogan stuff?
Yeah.
Oof. Yeah. Wasn't good towards the end. It's never good towards the end. Prince, all those guys.
I have a confession.
Yes.
When Hulk Hogan passed away, I was on Early Edition, NBC Sports Boston. So they saved the segment for the end. What are your memories of Hulk Hogan? Not a wrestling guy. I don't really remember much, but he became such an icon that I'm familiar with him. Everyone knows the name. Set the controversial stuff aside. He's just passed, whatever. Then I honored this man by going, woo!
Oh, wow.
Oh, no.
Oh, wow.
No.
Oh, man.
He's still going.
Didn't realize that till I was on the ride home, that that's not his saying. And that man is not dead.
Ric Flair will come to Boston for a wrestling event and at his advanced age. Maybe not now so much, but like 5 or so years ago, would come to Boston for a wrestling event, still hit the Kowloon afterwards, and then grab a room at the Red Roof Inn next door and stay up till 3-4 in the morning.
Yeah, he flew coach on the way down.
Yeah.
I did an event with Ric Flair and Pete Rose. Pete Rose didn't show up. Ric Flair smashed a ball off his head the night before, but still did the photo.
Love it. Yes,
and
of course.
Took my money.
True professional.
That's right.
Joe, are you in or out on Pete's Roast Beef in Woburn winning the 2026 Beef Madness Finals? They beat CNS and Pepperell in the finals, that bracket a couple of weeks ago. And all the beef guys do.
Andy Ferg, who is the real
He's the guy.
King.
Yeah, he's the king of the North Shore
I am not the
three-way.
beef king.
No. He's the guy.
Pete's, I hear, is the best. It's just not my favorite.
Okay. But you've been.
I've been.
Is that the one on Wynn Street?
Yes, that's correct.
It's good.
Yes, yeah, it's
great.
Good.
It's just not my favorite.
It's probably top 3 for me. I still love what's the one in Peabody off of 114?
I like Alpha's.
Alpha's. That's the one I'm thinking. It's funny that one.
Next
I don't
to
think it's
Sylvan
enough
Street
love.
Grill.
Yes,
Partner.
absolutely. Yes, that's if I got to pick a favorite, that's my favorite.
My favorite is Jamie's, but
yeah, Jamie's.
Yeah. But I'm in on them winning because I support the beef.
Billy's on the Greenwood Melrose line. That was my place growing up. So
have you had a beef, Andrew?
I'm a surface level beef guy. So Kelly's many a time on Route 1.
That's not a beef.
Okay. Then, Dad's going to kill me for this. There's a place, I want to say like North Andover, Lawrence line.
Tessie's.
Yeah.
No. I'm going to look this up
Well,
for
you
you.
should go
Because I
to
know
Tessie's.
I'm letting you down.
My home beef.
Yeah.
It's probably wouldn't hit your rankings, but just historically, Bill and Bob's in Winchester. Just because of the late night drive-through.
Yep.
That
One
was
in
my
Salem's
high
up
school.
until 3 a.m.
Yep.
Wait, so Kelly's does not count?
Kelly's
Is it too mainstream
Kelly's
or
is
is
a
it
good
just
beef? It's
Yeah.
just not a North Shore roast beef.
Oh, okay.
Just
okay.
a different style. Yeah,
Yeah.
still great, but different
Okay.
style. You probably have all by now seen the viral clip from Fenway on Marathon Monday. 2 Red Sox fans chugging beer out of each other's shoes. Are you in or out on shoe chugging? That's the first question, Joe.
Out.
And then what was your preferred method of chugging back in your beer chugging days?
You guys are out on.
Disgusting. That was like of all the trends that I don't understand.
Yeah, it was pretty nasty.
I wouldn't drink out of my shoe. I wouldn't drink out of a brand new shoe.
A lot of germs in there.
Disgusting.
I can't think of what I drank out of, but we did make a gravity bong once out of a pumpkin. It was already carved, but
Yeah.
we filled it up with water.
There you go. Yeah.
But I used to put the glass in the freezer. I was always a freezer guy.
I still
and
do
then-
that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've got a couple of special beer glasses. You put them in the freezer. It almost has it's like a relief map on the outside. You know, there's like a texture to it, so it holds onto the cold better.
Are the kids still funneling beers these days?
I hope not. That was gross behavior.
Like Frank the Tank?
I don't think Gen Z is. Yeah, I don't think Gen Z.
Well, they
is
drink
busting the
less
funnel
in
out.
general.
Yeah.
This
which
is why we
good.
talked about the death of the dive bar.
Yes.
People are smoking more marijuana and they're drinking less.
We had a skull funnel in my apartment in college. I honestly
name for a punk band.
used it once, not a funneler. Chugging though, I was just like straight from the can,
I'm sorry,
straight
what
from the
school,
bottle.
what school did you go to again? I don't know why. I don't know.
UConn.
Oh, you're UConn.
I
guy.
thought you might have been teasing me because I
No,
get the
I really-
opposite
I
often
really
at
didn't
NBC Sports Boston. Oh, here comes the.
Nope, I would
You
never.
want
do that.
to, if you have a line to Gino, you want to let him know he owes me a couch?
Gino, sore loser.
See,
Wicked sore loser.
you know what? Last time I was on the show, Breer went to Paris or something, so I zoomed in for a couple of segments, and Hardy pitched an idea on the day of the women's Final Four. So this is the day before the men's Final Four, saying, "Hey, should I hedge a bet by betting on the women to lose? And if I win, great, I won some money. If not, having bought this piece of furniture from Jordan's, that's free." And I just wanted to be disagreeable, so I said, "No, that's stupid." And then the women lose, and everyone loses except for Jordan's.
Yep.
That's a nice couch.
Yeah, a little bit of
free would have been
red
nice.
there. Yeah, free would have been nice. Out on the shoe, and yeah, I don't. Why was that a thing?
I don't know.
Also, at an April baseball game, playoff hockey, you could talk me into almost anything. Your team wins, funnel from somebody else's shoe.
You know what's another thing I never did? Borgs.
Oh yeah, I don't think that was a thing back when we were younger.
Feels
I mean,
newish.
there were different ways to binge drink, but I don't think that was one of them.
I love drinking a 40-ouncer though. Out of a brown
you were a
bag.
40s guy, yeah? St.
Out
Ides?
of a brown bag, Stides. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
What about was it Jungle Juice?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
In.
That was our Borg.
In.
Well, we had like there might still be a website. There was a website for a while, and it looks like it's from like the early 2000s called bumwines.com, and it's all reviews of like Thunderbird and Mad Dog and all that stuff.
Were you Edward 40 hands at all?
I could do that. I could do it all, baby.
I believe that. I could see Joe Murray taking down the Edward 40 hands challenge.
If he had said no, I would have challenged you on that.
We used to legitimately. We had a lot lot of 40s.
I'm sure.
I was a Steel Reserve guy myself.
There you go.
Cobra.
Whoa.
Colt 45.
Yikes. Speaking of the Sox, are you in or out on Peyton Tolley being called up to start tonight and then just keep him in the rotation? Keep him in the rotation.
You know, I think the young guys are. I mean, Connolly Early right now is their best starter, and he pitched well enough to win. You know, we can do this later, but I'm now pissed that they spent money on Ranger Suarez, who was also pissed for being pulled last night, which we didn't talk about. They traded for Sonny Gray and traded for Johan Oviedo. Yet they had two guys here.
Yeah.
And now I'm mad that they went out for milk when they had cows.
I'm going to do you one better, both of you. I'm in on Peyton Tolle being in the rotation. I like him. He might be an upgrade in the lineup. He used to hit back in college. He hit some bombs at Wichita State.
Oh.
Put him in there 6th instead of, IKF.
Durbin, he won't get DFA'd, but would they ever send him down?
I don't know. He has 11 hits this year. He's bad.
That's so gross.
At some point, they might have to put Raphael at second just to get the lineup right. I don't know. I don't know how to fix that. They don't pay me. I don't get paid enough to figure that out.
I pulled up
He's
Princess.
very thoughtful. Have you noticed? You notice
I'd like to weigh in. I would be in on that.
Princess Leia, Obi-Wan Kenobi, help us, Obi-Wan, you're my only hope. Help us, Peyton Tolle, you're my only hope. That's how I feel right now with this team. And it's leaning on the kids. I also have an answer for you with an assist to Mom. Harrison's roast beef.
Oh, Harrison's. There you go.
Harrison's.
Yes.
There we go.
Somebody actually just tweeted me, too.
I didn't want to let you down. So there it is. Harrison's is good.
Can I give you an in or out? Not to sabotage you?
Let's have this be the last one.
In or out on the Fenway Park Pro Shop having Yankees hats.
Out.
Oh, my God.
No, I'm sorry. In on the hats, out on the commemorative home plate that you can buy for however much money that has all of the championships on it. That's a little much.
Because back in the day, that was the one spot. The souvenir shop is where you could get the out-of-town hat. So if you wanted a Mariners hat, if you wanted a Twins hat, you go there. This was beyond that to a different degree.
How can you sell a plate commemorating 27 World Championships for the Yankees when that is the only thing that franchise, the evil empire, can hold over your head in the year 2026? Because since this millennium started, you have been winning more World Series than they have. And here you are going, well, don't forget about the ones all in the 1900s while they're in town. So their fans who are now flooding the stands at Fenway Park can buy them, bring them home, in addition to the happy memory of beating the Red Sox in their own park. It's disgusting. How much ass would the executives in the late 90s and early 2000s kick if they could take a time machine and come up here and visit all of the people running the Red Sox right now? It's just an enormous amount. A green monster-sized ass is what they would kick for what they're doing in the Pro Shop now, which should be not a safe space for the visiting team. Only if I get a little curious about an Expos hat and say, yeah, that might look good. That's where I go to do that, if not buy Red Sox things. Not things to honor your hated rivals. Disgusting. What's further than out?
That's
out of my mind, as I sound?
What would be like a Patriots, Colts?
The Patriots should sell the Colts banner. The famous Colts banner. That's what they
That would
should
actually
sell.
be kind of
That
funny.
would be funny.
It would be like, here's a replica of Peyton Manning's Super Bowl rings and MVP trophies.
Yeah.
Take them home.
Oh no, it would be like selling like Eli Manning.
There you go. That's a good one.
Yes.
Do you know what, though?
Signed David Tyree pictures.
Do you know what, though? Because I had multiple conversations with people last night saying, how much would they have to pay you to go to this game? 40 degrees, bad team, bad baseball. Yankees fans that bought these tickets in December and made the trip, they're there. So you gotta sell some merch while they're there.
Here's the thing. As angry as I am about this team, I'm a sucker. I'll be there at Fenway several times this year.
It might not cost you that much.
And I hope not. If it does, I will be there anyway.
It's going to be a long.
They've got me forever.
And they know it. Out, Joe. Joe, I love when you do the mornings because I love when we get to do in or out. This is
that
great.
all we have for in or out?
That's what we got for in or out. We're gonna break. You guys are gonna talk about the draft next.
By the way, just real quick, I saw that the guy from Storage Wars died. In or out on Storage Wars?
Never seen it.
Never watched.
Get out of here!
Never seen it.
You never watched Storage Wars?
I'm with you, Michael. I've never watched it. I'm familiar with what it is, but yeah.
I'm scared. Joe looks mad at me.
It was on.
He's like, I've never felt this way before.
I did kind of overreact. No, you ever watch Pawn Stars? How could you have missed the show?
Is it A&E?
Yeah, it's like Pawn Stars, the American Pickers.
Just wasn't in my
rotation. That show. What's that?
Who were the guys that hunted ducks?
Duck
Dynasty.
Duck Dynasty, is that there too?
I didn't really watch. They're there too.
Okay, all right, good.
I know who they are at least.
What was John and Kate plus 8? Was that A&E?
No, TLC.
TLC, yeah.
Why did that come so quickly to me?
You're a big Johnny
not
K
proud
plus
of
8 head.
household.
I'm just upset about their
You got
divorce.
the DVD box set.
No, it's probably because when that was on, you would spend time with your significant other, and you would write and then you'd look up every once in a while and be like, "What's going on here?"
No, I'd be locked into that show.
See,
it was wild.
I will tell you though, the Housewives. I haven't watched the Rhode Island one yet, but some of those Housewives I've been in on.
It's really kind of you, Joe, to think I had a significant other in high school when that show was going on.
I'm old.
How old are
appreciate
you?
you.
Like 15?
34.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I was 34 once.
Trying to hang on as much as I can. 35 is going to hit.
I was working here at 34.
Oh.
And I'm still here.
Doing great.
I think so. I mean, I do nights, and now I'm here in the
look at you. You're with us this morning.
I am very happy to be with other people. Usually I work alone, so it's nice to be with other people. All right, we have to go to break. What do we have going on next?
A little bit of draft chat.
Oh, the draft's tonight, huh?
Yeah.
I have 2 names that I have for the draft.
Buzzes.
Yeah, the buzz. I used to be a draft guy, man, this year. But I have 2 names for you.
Okay.
I'm sure Mike's got a name. Maybe we'll look during the break here. Hey, you guys can call in, too. We do take calls. 617-779-0985. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports. All right, we're back on 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. Andrew Callahan of the Boston Herald is here. Michael Hurley. Are you Mike Hurley now? Like, what are you? Are you?
You know, most people call me Mike, but Mike Hurley sometimes becomes like a one-word thing, almost like a name diphthong to get into the.
Yeah, I think Joe Murray has happened too, but obviously there's two Murrays at the station, so we have to. And one's Big Jim.
You should be Little Joe.
I am not Little Joe.
Joe.
Lil Joe.
Joseph.
That's too personal.
Too formal. Who calls you Joseph? Anyone in your life that calls you Joseph?
The state of Massachusetts.
The government.
The IRS.
Yeah, them. Nobody likes them. They're very nice people, though, if you call.
Really?
Yeah, very nice people, because they want your money.
They got me once, years later, audited. I missed a decimal point in one of my numbers. They came like years later for like $200. I'm like, you got me.
You got to pay it.
I paid it.
You have to, or they'll. I know a guy.
Well, that's when he changed his name to Mike Hurley.
Yeah.
He's still on the run.
There you go.
Oh, that was Michael.
Couldn't find him, yeah.
All right, well, listen at the end of this segment for a chance to win a pair of tickets to see the Bruins take on the Sabres Sunday afternoon. Ooh, at TD Garden. So we're giving away some Bruins tickets coming up in a bit. All right, the draft's here tonight for all the draft people that are out there. Right now, the Patriots are locked in at 31. I'm curious about the Seattle Seahawks at 32 have said they're trading their pick. Does that help or hurt the Patriots, guys?
Well, they could trade it. There's going to be competition. You know, that could help.
For example, if someone wants to get a quarterback at 31 or 32, they could basically get him at 31. Would the Patriots ever trade with the Jets?
Sure.
Let's say like Ty Simpson's available or something like that.
They did a deal, maybe it was Bill's last draft, and it was a pick swap deal, but it ended up being a win based on the trade value chart for the Jets in a way that was like, we don't really care. Here you go. Extra 5th round pick or 6th, whatever it netted out to. I do think they would. The tricky part about this helping or hurting them is teams have to know from Seattle, we give the pick to somebody else. And then that market has to be aligned in that whatever the team that Seattle's dealing with wants, the team that then approaches the Patriots wants the same thing. So it's a quarterback, or maybe it's a receiver, or probably not an edge rusher because there are so many. And I just think for all those things to fall in line and happen at once, it's unlikely. So I don't think this affects the Patriots a whole lot. But there is a world in which, something crazy happens in the middle of the draft, and there are multiple offensive tackles there at 31. So I do think it's unlikely. And then at that point, the Patriots, A, should have interest, and B, could ask themselves, if we go back to 34, could we still get the tackle and add assets in a trade? That, to me, might be their best-case scenario, even aside from just getting Max Iannaccio or Blake Miller from Clemson. One of these guys that everyone's just going, hey, if they're there, don't think it for a second. Just put the card in.
Is there any player? So I like that move. For example, you move up, you get a tackle, you have one for Morgan Moses. You can still work out whatever happens with Campbell down the line. And tackles around the league are really hard, right? Like this is a tough position to get. How many guys left this year and got big money that are tackles? So tackle is somewhat of a premium in the league. It's like a starting pitcher, right? You just have to have them. So I do think it's a position of need. And the Vrabel stuff, I think, is kind of overshadowing now the draft. But if I just kept it to the draft, the last 2 drafts have been about what the organization needs, right? They needed Drake May. Whoever the GM was. Elliot Wolf will get the credit for selecting Drake May. Come on. That was from the Crafts. Will Campbell, probably a ownership pick. I think this was the first year that
was a Vrabel pick. I'm going to do this again, and then I'm going to retire the joke because I've made this joke for a full year. This was not recently. Will Campbell, I have called based on how similar he is to Mike Vrabel and how much Mike likes him. Mike's Louisiana love child. And I said this last match.
I knew it was coming
because of
I knew this was coming.
How much he loves it. And the offensive lineman this year made T-shirts of like Will looking like a baby that Mike Vrabel would hold, and that was the whole joke: is that their relationship is so close and how tough Will is and their disposition and everything. Like, Will Campbell was the first pick of the Mike Vrabel era because he is Mike Vrabel material to a T. That was absolutely a Mike Vrabel pick. I'm sorry. It's not Elliot Wolf. It wasn't the Crafts. That was Mike Vrabel saying this is my guy.
He put him on his ass at that little workout.
He did.
And that was love at first sight.
The Louisiana love child, I can't get out of my head right now.
The crazy thing is I've been saying this for 10 months, and Holly, not that Holly and Felger are listening to Pat's Interference podcast. They're obviously listening to Pat's Chat instead. Now it's going to be known as a joke at a time that it is the worst time for me to be known for this joke. But man, when I research Will for a profile after he gets drafted, as we do dig into your background, talk to your parents, where you've been, what you've done, who you are, what you're about, it just became so clear why Vrabel fell in love with him because of just how tough he is, how rugged, nasty when he's on the field, smart. Like, it's everything Vrabel wants in any prospect. And then here he is at a position of need who's only 21, and you can take it fourth overall. All right, man, as soon as he was put on his ass in that visit in Louisiana 2 weeks before the draft, their minds were made up.
I'll take it back, but I still think it was an ownership pick. I just think it was a need.
Is that taking it back? Be like, Joe, I take it back, but I still think you suck. Like if we're arguing.
Yeah, well, I do a thing at night where I say I apologize, but I'm not sorry.
Oh, okay.
So it's almost
your
the
crisis
same thing.
PR team.
Yeah, we need one. I definitely need one. Beetle, he has got his own little crisis. Yeah, if you need a statement made, he's the guy.
Really?
He is very good at forming statements, and I think that his statement might have been better than Mike Vrabel's. I'm sure when he comes back from vacation, he'll tell everybody that. Mike, what do you think they do tonight?
Well, it's interesting because you mentioned Drake May, you mentioned Will Campbell. We knew those picks basically for weeks, months going in. There was a little doubt with Campbell, but we pretty much knew. I just checked for, just one spot. The Patriots website compiled everyone's draft, who they have mocked to the Patriots, just positionally. Out of the, let me see, I don't know, about 22 mock drafts I looked at, 9 people think they're going edge, which is the most popular. The second is a tie, wide receiver and tackle, 4 each. And then there's individual mocks, a safety, a D tackle, and an interior O lineman. I think if it's any of those last ones, like needs on the team, people will be pretty grumpy tomorrow morning.
The D tackle is the one to watch, in my opinion. Safety and guard would blow my mind. Like, I think they're going to get a safety, but it's a deep class. You have 2 starting guards now. Even if Michael Onwenu was in the last year of his contract, which he is, and I think his last year in New England, you don't take that guy in the first round. This is like drafting Cole Strange and saying, yeah, but Cole, take the year off. We're good.
Yeah. My pick, I think it's going to be Zion Young, but my pick would be Caden McDonald. I just think another defensive lineman, a guy that you can kind of groom behind Barmore. Maybe you can play Milton Williams on the outside at times, but you need a Tonga replacement as well. Caden McDonald's that kind of guy. He's more of an interior defensive lineman and I'm not going to break all these guys down for you, but
please do.
That would be my guy, is Caden McDonald, the Ohio State connection there. And I just think he's more of an interior guy that will clog lanes and get in the backfield than an outside facing tackles type. I know that that's why I think Zion Young is the pick, because he's the pure edge rusher. Played in the SEC, was a really good pass rusher for Missouri this past year. It was a good team over the last couple of years. Who's put out good NFL talent. It's just, I don't know, will he be there, I guess is the question.
I think he will. And the interesting part about Zion Young is he fits the previous system as like he's regarded as the best edge setter in this class in terms of run defense, and doesn't fit the speed that Elliot Wolf was talking about last week in his pre-draft press conference 2 weeks ago. And there are so many other guys that are available in that spot, which could go 30 to 40 to 45. And their next pick is at 63, so they'd have to move up. But you might even be able to wait to 63 and get a Kieran Crawford at Auburn because of how deep this edge class is. The thing is, if the offensive tackles are gone, and there would need to be 7 gone in the first round before they get to 31 for the Patriots to go, man. And I would take Iheanacho, the Arizona State kid, because he only started just playing football. He is an elite athlete. He had great tape against David Bailey and the Texas Tech edge rushers. Bailey could go as high as number 2
Vrabel
tonight.
went up against him, right?
Yep, and that's, everyone sees that, and we forget he does this to a lot of guys, but it's not like Vrabel didn't care. Like he wanted to feel him. That's what he wanted to do, is to feel his hands, his shock, et cetera, et cetera. That would be my guy. If he's gone, though, what do you do? Do you just pick from the big pool of edge rushers? Do you go, as Hurley mentioned, some people think it could be Caden McDonald. The safety would confound me, because the one, I think, is it the Toledo kid on that mock draft?
No, it was actually a different one. I got to go back to it. It was.
Oh my God, who is?
Oh, have you done your own mock draft?
No. I was just compiling
projections.
It was Dylan Thieneman, Oregon.
Okay, so I haven't seen, except for this mock draft, go past 21 really, and people think he'll go to Minnesota at 18 as probably the most common mock draft match that you have between player and team. It doesn't mean it's going to happen, but my point is, I think if you just sign Kevin Byard and you have Craig Woodson starting, I kind of want the first round pick to have a chance to start this year now.
Yeah.
This is my same thought about the guard. So anyway, it's just interesting because either you take an edge in a year where you can wait on an edge, or you don't get the offensive tackle, and then a receiver, they're going to get A.J. Brown. That's why they're probably trading Kayshon Boutte. So does that guy sit too behind Brown and some combination of Romeo Doubs and DeMario Douglas or Matt Collins and Kyle Williams? It's an interesting spot.
Well, the fear I would have, and it's unfair to the current players in the draft, but you drafted the reason you're going to get an edge right at 31, and he's going to be at 31 for a reason. There's going to be reasons people pass him, and I think back to Keon White 4 years ago, and they drafted him, and he had some measurables, and you would watch him, and you'd be like, he's a beast, he's a monster, he's strong, you can't stop him. But yet, I'll never forget last year the Patriots were in Minnesota. Phil Perry on NBC reporting from practice, being like, Keon White does not have any pass rush moves, and it's year.
He was a tight end before.
It's year 3, and it's like, you're going to get someone at 31 that you want an edge rusher who can get after the quarterback, who can do better than Harold Landry, who can do better than Draymond Jones. I just don't know. Just because you want him there at 31, he won't be there for you. The guy that you want won't be there.
Couple more names at edge, because these guys, again, could go 31, they could go 63. Malachi Lawrence has picked up a lot of steam from Central Florida. Gabe Akas, who's a super strong dude out of Illinois, and doesn't fit the speed part, but is very much a Vrabel player.
They had him in, I think, for a visit, right?
Yep. According to our guy, Doug Kite. We share Doug, Hurley and I, when we're in studio.
He's my best friend.
No, he's my best friend.
Former punk, emo pop punk guitarist.
Yeah.
Keldrick Falk, probably not there at 31, edge from Auburn. Yep.
Okay.
And then Zion Young. I'll say this, too, because Daniel Jeremiah shocked me with his final mock draft last night. It's a mock draft I pay attention to. I don't know how plugged he is to the Patriots in particular, but he's definitely plugged in across the league. Chris Johnson, a corner from San Diego State, who profiles as kind of a nickel, and they just extended Marcus Jones, who was a captain. So you're out. But the idea that they could just go best player available is the one that Daniel Jeremiah made. If the Patriots simply made a best player available pick without knowing the position, and let's take kicker, punter, long snapper, whatever off the board, would you be comfortable with that? Just whomever it is. It's not necessarily an edge.
No.
It's not necessarily tackle. They got the best player available.
No.
And you're not happy with the best.
No, because when he was in Tennessee, he did that, and the guy flamed out in a year or two. So, no, I don't want Mike Vrabel drafting.
What do you mean, a corner?
Yeah.
Caleb Farley?
I just don't want that. No.
See, I think they're not in they don't have the depth anywhere. Maybe except defensive tackle, which still is taking a hit with Tonga leaving. They're still, like you mentioned, safety. Like, can he play? They had 2 safeties last year play basically every snap of defense. And it's like, can that happen in the NFL twice, 2 years in a row? I guess, maybe. But I think they were so lucky at so many spots last year with just the health and just avoiding the injury that they have to start building the depth with talent. And again, like Elliot Wolf said, it's not just this year. You're looking at who's going to be a free agent coming up. They did sign Byard. It was a 1-year deal. So I do think if that best player is a corner, Carlton Davis isn't young.
The kid from Penn State, the safety,
Zakee Wheatley.
He's a first round talent.
No.
Oh, I mean,
day 2.
This guy, I'm just a guy who watched a lot. I'm not a combine guy. To me, that kid from Penn State was great. R. Mason Thomas.
This is my guy.
That guy can play Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And again, a lot of these guys don't transfer to the NFL. I'm just telling you, guys who were impact players. Do you know who I loved was the kid Vermello Height from Texas Tech.
He also came in for a visit.
I watched a ton of Texas Tech football.
Yeah.
This dude was a mauler. So I'm just saying, pure football, like talent, whether it's first, second, third round, that guy's going to play in the league. I don't know if he's inside, outside, whatever he is. I felt like Rudy right there. You got to get him on the inside, the outside. I got to run. But, like, I'm just saying, guys who I watched every Saturday who were big playmakers, that kid from Penn State was a playmaker. R. Mason Thomas, playmaker. Like, and I know it doesn't always translate, so I'm not one of – I used to be a draft guy. But when you, like, say a corner from San Diego State, I watched San Diego State, they sucked. I don't want that guy.
A draft guy.
You know who Daniel Jeremiah had in one of his earlier mock drafts? Caden McDonald to the Patriots.
That to me would be the sleeper pick here tonight. And I'll say this because I know we got to go. The edge conversation, you mentioned Romello Height. He came in for a visit. If Zion Young is the best player available and fits a need, you still might wait because of how many are available after him. I think they probably want to trade back. We even talked about tight end, but I don't know if there's a guy that fits there at 31. And you move back to 38, could be a different conversation.
I just looked up. That kid Wheatley's projected to be a third-round pick.
Yes.
No way.
One pass breakup last year.
Dude's a stud. He plays. It's because he's a box guy.
He's more versatile, but he is a bigger safety. He's almost 6'3".
Yeah,
he's a good kid.
I bet on a lot of Penn
According to my
State.
birdies at Penn State.
Okay. James Franklin.
See ya.
Where'd he go?
Virginia Tech. Not going to miss him.
It'll work out great for him. They have a good quarterback, too. They should be a team on the rise. Oh, I'm excited for
With Big Game James? I don't know.
We'll find out. Caller number 10 right now to our contest line. 617-931-0985. We'll score a pair of tickets to be at the Garden this Sunday afternoon as the Bruins take on the Sabres in playoff action. It's game day in Boston. Tonight, the Bruins battle the Sabres at 7 p.m. Can't miss matchup on Causeway Street for round 1. Game 3 of the 2026 playoffs. Don't sit this one out. Tickets are still available at bostonbruins.com/playoffs. On the other side, Andrew Callahan found a photo in an office. Took photos of it, and we're trying to find out the date, the year, and who the people are. And we have not been able to find out yet. And it's been a few commercial breaks now. So I feel like you should tweet that out.
We're getting close.
I'm good at this, and I'm struggling.
Same. It's a Red Sox-Yankees game from the 90s.
And Nomar is definitely in it.
All right.
That's all we can
We'll
share.
tweet it out.
Yep.
And we'll guess it next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines.
Tonight marks the start of the NFL draft with the first round kicking off in Pittsburgh, where the
been to a Bees playoff game.
Oh, I went to a Stanley Cup game.
Been to many games just outside of the Garden, having a beer too, maybe more.
Have you ever been to a wrestling event or no?
No, not my thing.
So, hockey, wrestling, same crowd.
Joe, I was at what was the pay-per-view in 2000? Was it King of the Ring?
In Boston?
Or was it SummerSlam?
Well,
I think it was King of the Ring. The Rock won. It was a great day. I was there for that.
It was legit? Like it was? Did it feel like a Godsmack concert?
It felt great. I think there was a ladder match involving the Hardy Boys that day.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a dumpster match.
Oh, we had the Hardy Boys in studio earlier this year, right in here, with their belts. They were the TNA Tag Team Champions. I don't know what they are now.
Surprised their spines made it, to be honest, with the stuff that was going on back then.
Jeff has had a lot of medication.
I would
if
think
you want
so,
to read
yeah.
about his story. I know we're up against it, but there's a photo that Andrew Callahan found in an office, and he took a photo of it to be like, what game was this? Where is this from? It's an old Fenway Park Yankees-Red Sox game. Have you tweeted it out?
I did, and I don't think this is unique to me because even within this room, granted, we do similar things for work. We have similar interests. I pride myself on looking at a photo, particularly Patriots games at Gillette Stadium, but you can go back 25, 30 years, Red Sox games, and figuring out, taking little pieces of that logo's from this year. Okay, that player played here this date to that day. That narrows it down to this game, that team, and that day. And with these photos that I took yesterday, standing in an office, I was like, man, I can't figure this out for the life of me. It's clearly mid to late 90s, which is another sweet spot here. Nomar is at shortstop. And we comb through the photos. It's middle of the fifth inning. It's at night. It's at Fenway. Got a Marlboro sign. It's an ad. So we're definitely turning back the clock here a little bit. And yet, none of the three of us have been able to figure this out for an hour. Adam 12 just got this 5 minutes ago. Have we taken a peek?
Yeah, I'm looking at it now, and I'm figuring out. So the Yankees have number 27 up at bat.
Left fielder.
Left fielder.
Bats left.
Is that Luis Polonia?
And you're saying this is like a mid to late 90s situation because Nomar's in there.
Joe brought that to my attention at shortstop, and looking at his gait, the way he's standing,
his wrist,
like his face is down. Yeah, the wrist, like everything screams Nomar there to me. Okay. I think he's right
because this could be Graham Lloyd coming to bat, but I'm trying to look and see. I don't know these Yankees players well enough to know if they're lefties or righties because he's coming up to that side of the plate.
It's 1-0 Red Sox in the top of the sixth. So I've looked at all the pitchers.
If you were there,
like 40's pitching.
This should be enough for anybody.
So there's no Coke bottles. There is Marlboro ads. So it's around that. It was that 90s. You could still advertise cigarettes.
It's on ESPN because there's a banner behind home plate. The Nesson logo is the old blue ticket with the white block lettering. So this brings you immediately back. And I know that's been around for a little bit. It's just the more info, the closer we'll get. And I couldn't do it.
So where's the ESPN? I'm not seeing that.
Banner
Is that
behind home plate, I think.
Yes.
Is there a third picture?
There's a third picture.
Oh, I didn't see that. So it's a Sunday night game.
Third picture.
So then it's got to be. Oh, they did Monday night back then too.
That's the hard part.
And I've shared this at Joey Murr on Twitter as well, if you'd like to look at it.
You normally, when you do this, though, 80% success rate?
Pretty good.
Like mine's pretty high.
So I'm getting real here. I looked up when was Rijkaard Sports Stick a promotional sign over at Fenway Park. It says definitely a 1990s game.
Oh, thank you.
So, there's one wrinkle.
Crack the case here.
One wrinkle. I don't think it can be Nomar because Mel Hall wore 27 and played left field
90s.
For the Yankees.
And so it's got to be him.
It's got to just not be
Tony Mass
Nomar.
has entered the chat. I'm sending the photos to him.
What did he do? I'm sorry. What was it?
Mel Hall played outfield for the Yankees.
Chat, you said? No, I'm sorry. I just had heard that. 4 o'clock Nesson today. Watch later.
I think that's not Nomar, despite it looking exactly like
Nomar. Could it be John Valentin?
It could be. He just looks so skinny, but a young John Valentin in 92, if we're talking.
So you think this is 92?
That's when Mel Hall, but yeah.
I'm getting a couple replies that says 91 or 92, and it's Scott Cooper at first.
I got it. I got the game.
But Scott Cooper wasn't number 40, was he?
I got the game. All we had to do was remove Nomar from the equation.
Wow. Joe led us astray. Granted, I followed Willie.
So the pitcher, let's double check. Oh, he wasn't wearing 40.
No.
Frank
Hurley.
Viola.
Frank Viola. He was
But
a
I got a Red Sox Yankees game in '92. It was 1-0 Red Sox in the top of the 6th, and Mel Hall was playing left field for the Yankees, wearing number 27. Oh, wait,
Is this an AI photo?
Nope, he was the
office?
DH. He was the DH that night.
So he got it?
No.
Wow.
You said left field.
I think it's Eric Hansen on the mound, but if it's
the scoreboard says 27 in left field. I don't know why at this
could be
point in
delayed.
time they didn't put the name on the scoreboard.
Yeah, maybe it was like a slow changeover because computers back then. So did the left fielder bat before Mel Hall? Nope, Don Mattingly did.
Joe, let's break and we'll come back and see if we have a solution. Because people are weighing in.
And by the way, I don't think that's Scott Cooper at first because Scott Cooper didn't wear 40.
45, we think, but it might be
45.
46.
Might be 46.
Oh.
This is what guys do.
All right. Well,
We'll stare at this picture all
We
day.
got 2 stats, 1 lie as well. So our brains are really like moving right now. We're sleuthing, baby. We're sniffing. We're sleuthing. And we got 2 stats and 1 lie are coming up next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Stay tuned for more Toucher and Hardy.
Winners in Game 3 of a 1-1 series have gone on to win the series 66% of the time. And speaking of Game 3, the Celtics get an extra day of rest before playing in Philadelphia tomorrow night. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by East Coast Metal Roofing. Never, ever replace your roof again. It's East Coast Metal Roofing's Spring into Savings event where Sports Hub listeners get 10% off their new roof that is guaranteed to last a lifetime. Call 844-611-ECMR or eastcoastmetalroofing.com. I'm Michael Hurley. Next update in 30 minutes.
You actually coaching the game?
Oh, it's just that is. I feel so strongly about that. I can't even tell you.
Boston Talk Sports here.
What do we got?
Sports.
And we're back. Toucher and Hardy on the.
For the top of the 6th inning, this has to be
April or September.
April or September.
No.
How about in October?
99? No, there's not enough star power in the Red Sox.
I thought it was Benzinger at first. I'm wondering if it's Wade Boggs at third, and I can't really tell.
If you look at the first base coach, he's wearing number 50. I looked up what first base coaches coached during the 90s. Ed Napoleon coached in 92. He wore number 50, I believe.
Okay.
93. Someone is in my mentions about the first base coach, and shout out Ed Napoleon, wherever you may be. You made Boston radio at 8:08 in the morning on the day of the NFL draft.
I met Al Bunbury once, who was a third base coach.
Yeah, but he was a big slugger for the Orioles back in the day.
Yeah, is that Jody Reed at second?
Jody Reed. I mean, some people have said 1992, but this is a June game and it ends 1-0. So the box score is exactly as it looks. Jody Reed would be at second, Wade Boggs at third, Luis Rivera at short.
Okay, there we go.
So now we're doing guys naming dudes, which is just always going to play.
Someone gave you that June 15th, 92 date. The scoreboard sure matches up. The Red Sox scored 1 run in the bottom of the 5th. It's 1-0 in the 6th. Mel Hall's at left field. Mel Hall is in left field.
But it's so dark for June.
Who's pitching?
Pitching.
John Dobson. He wore 40. That's the game. That's the game.
Wow.
That's the game. Who said that?
Well,
we need Brian Ketty.
But yeah, Brian Ketty.
See, I was close. You know what threw us off was the no. That looks so much. Is the John Valentin? I take
it's Luis Alicea.
Oh, you know what?
Really?
Duck Boat Sports got in here too, and a couple of people understand that it's 92. I had a fellow Andrew though leading me astray.
So bad job by us.
Oh,
if we're
horrendous.
I led you down the Nomar hole, and it was not Nomar, and I apologize.
Not the first time, you know.
Nomar
it's
hole.
like catnip. You throw Nomar in front of me.
I apologize.
It looked like Nomar.
But
no
sorry. Hey, 2 stats, 1 line. What do we got today? We already solved one crime or a puzzle.
We did. All right,
sleuthing, baby.
Here we go. 2 stats in the line.
First? You didn't get to pick one, Andrew. Which one would you like?
We got to go with, especially the biopics coming out. Michael?
Oh, let's go, Michael. Absolutely.
Andrew's got 2 stats. Andrew's got 2 stats. But he's got 1 lie. But he's got 1 lie. Andrew's got 2 stats. Andrew's got 2 stats. But he's got 1 lie. But he's got 1 lie. Woo! Come on, girl.
Take it away.
All right. 2 stats and a lie. Play this every week during the NFL season and bring you 2 Patriot statistics and 1 I've made up. However, on the day of the NFL draft, we have 2 picks and 1 lie. Meaning, I have 2 deep dive prospects, guys who may or may not get drafted. Could be day 3, could be priority free agents. And then I have 1 prospect I have made up. I will give you their name, their position, where they went to college, their height and weight, and then 2 fun facts about them, and it is your job to discern pick from lie. Are we ready?
Ready.
All right. Number 1, Heinrich Harburg, tight end from Nebraska, 6'5", 255 pounds. Heinrich as a tight end has more passing touchdowns than receiving, and his dad played fullback in Nebraska when he was in college.
Are pencils allowed? I remember. The person who sits in this chair got in trouble for cheating once.
Is not allowed to take any kind of notes is Wallach, who needs oven mitts and cameras and motion sensors to make sure he is as still as possible. During
Analog is fine. It's digital that Wallach has the problem with.
So Heinrich Harburg, tight end from Nebraska, 6'5", 255. Tight end has more passing touchdowns and receiving touchdowns in his career, and his dad played fullback at Nebraska, like all dads wish they could claim. Number 2, Brad Brewing, Broowing, offensive guard from Louisiana Tech, 6'4", 313. He has transferred 3 times, but all within the state of Louisiana. He is one of 7 kids. Brad Brewing, offensive guard from Louisiana Tech, 6'4", 313 pounds, transferred 3 times in his college career, all within the state of Louisiana, and he is one of 7 kids. Number 3, Maverick McIver, quarterback, Western Kentucky, 6'2", 209. Grew up in West Texas where he used to hunt mountain lions, and he is older than Christian Gonzalez, Pop Douglas, and Kayshon Boutte, who were all drafted in 2023. Maverick McIver, quarterback, Western Kentucky, 6'2", 209. The man used to hunt mountain lions in West Texas where he grew up, and he is older than 2023 Patriots draft picks Christian Gonzalez, Pop Douglas, and Kayshon Boutte.
I hope that last guy's real because that's a badass name.
So we're guessing which one is not real.
One of those prospects does not exist.
Okay, I got it.
You got it?
Yeah.
Well, this
I gotta
is the
guess.
time.
I gotta guess. I'll circle mine so Joe, you know I'm not stealing your answer.
The middle guy, who's never heard of that guy in my life. La Tech? The hell's that guy?
Louisiana Tech? You never heard of Louisiana
No,
Tech?
I've heard that, but I've never heard of that guy in my life.
He's got 6 siblings. You don't know any of them?
No, I don't think it's true.
All right.
That doesn't. I'm not. It doesn't. It smells. It's smelly. I don't like that guy. The first guy is true though. Nebraska. He's real. I know he's real.
Okay.
He's a real guy.
All right.
He's a real man.
That guy is definitely real. So take him off the list.
He wasn't my choice. They do all sound fake. So good job by you.
Thank you.
My choice is Maverick McIver. Hilltopper quarterback. I feel like I would have heard of him.
I'll
at
tell
some
you,
point.
Maverick is not real.
Maverick.
Yeah. No,
There's
Maverick,
no way his
Maverick
name is Maverick McIver. That's fake. If he's a real person, he's a fake real person.
12?
I don't have a guess. I'm just going to hit the drum roll.
Okay.
That middle guy's not real.
Brad Brewing, offensive guard from Louisiana Tech.
He's not real.
Man, that sniffer is working. Brad Brewing was the fake prospect.
That guy's not real.
Number 2 is the lie.
I watched the UFL this past weekend.
Oh, no.
And I have watched Taluia Tagovailoa play the last 2 weeks, and who was playing for the Lowell indoor team, which I was the special coin toss captain of the game for. And
you were?
Yes.
Oh, that's outstanding.
Went to the Lowell Pirates. They had me there for the day. Got to flip the coin. They even played the Joe Show intro.
Wow. They still around, the Lowell Pirates?
They have moved now. But
they were somewhere else before that, right?
Worcester.
Yeah.
Said they played the Joe Show intro?
They did when they introed me.
It's a solid 5 minutes right there.
Well, it was quick.
Yeah.
It was,
they did the truncated.
It was like, hey, Joe Murray's our special coin toss guy today.
It's a long intro.
So they played your intro and then realized, oh my God, we can't stay in this town.
Yeah, pretty much. And but Taluia Tagovailoa was the quarterback, and now he's in the UFL. And do you know who I believe his offensive coordinator is?
Can we get a hint?
Todd Haley.
Oh,
I've seen the picture going around. Everyone's tweeting the
That's
picture.
There we go. Now we're putting it all together now, see?
Can we tweet that photo, the back of his head, and see how many people can get it?
He's got the not midlife crisis mullet going.
He called Dr. Leonard, I think. Because there's no way you can grow that hair out at that age. You're looking at the beast right there. What do you got going on over there?
Well, I was just looking up Heinrich's, stats in terms of his combine numbers pro day. This dude is an athlete. 4'5" in the 40. He had a vertical jump of 38 inches. His 3-cone was sub 7. You remember sub 7-second 3-cone was, he's on the Patriots draft board, which we can make all the jokes about. They can't draft receivers. But the guys who did work out, Julian Edelman converting from that position, as Heinrich Harburg did, had an excellent 3-cone, cranked out 18 reps in the bench press at 225 pounds, and he's got hands over 10 inches. So I was joking about the Patriots taking a flyer on our guy Heinrich.
Maybe he is. You know who that reminds me of? Remember Matt Jones?
Yes.
Former quarterback, played wide receiver, big-bodied guy.
Well, played quarterback and then was drafted as a receiver. Not just, 7th round, Julian Edelman. First round pick of the Jacksonville Jaguars, who were good and said, this guy gets us over the top. He's never really done this before, but we'll put him at receiver and it'll be fine.
How about Ryan Tannehill, too? Once a wide receiver.
But he had at least done that well at quarterback. And
Yeah.
Matt Jones is like a giant athlete. And they're like, we just need to give Byron Leftwich another weapon. And Matt Jones is it. David Garrard, we just get him one more piece.
Oh, God, that name.
He'll get there.
Those were tomato cans, all those guys.
We need to ask Tom Karen about this photo and this time that we have posted.
We'll talk to Tom Karen, colleague of Nesson. We'll do that next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Toucher and Hardy will be right back on the Sports Hub.
It's Fred.
responsibly. Why do people listen to Touch Your Heart?
Because it's a thing.
All right.
You know what I'm talking about.
Sure.
No idea what you're talking about.
Here's more of The Thing on the Sports Hub.
It sucks you guys don't get to see what we do behind these walls every single day, but I know everybody's working.
And joining us right now is Tom Caron. He's the studio host and broadcast announcer for Nesson, my colleague over at Nesson. Good morning, Tom Caron. How are you, sir?
Good morning, Joe. Now you know the secret handshake, so we can have our inside Nesson conversations.
Yeah, I was telling the guys some of our inside Nesson stuff that might happen every once in a while. But I have one for you. You guys have that little room. You, Jim Rice, I don't know, Will Middlebrooks, I don't know who else is in there. I know Manny Del Carmen at times. Lenny is in there.
Lenny, yeah. Jonathan Papelbon once in a while.
What do you do about tonight's game? Is it the Peyton Tolle pregame show? Is it about the hitting? Are you going to get hitting instructions from Jim Rice? Like, what do you do tonight after scoring one run and more strikeouts for the Red Sox offense?
If I have my way, we pick up on what you guys just played, Jaron Duran talking after the game. There's so much to unpack with his post-game conversation last night. Like he's telling you with his words that they've got to stop feeling the pressure. They've got to stop trying to do too much. But, man, you see it in his face. And he had a good night. He had 3 hits. He had 3 of their 5 hits. There were only 2 extra base hits in the game last night. This is a guy who's not getting in the lineup because of that, the construction of the team with the 5 outfielder / DH guys cycling through 4 positions. But I just think, he said it right, and he did it right last night. He had a couple of days off, and he worked on his swing. He simplified his swing, the toe tap back instead of the big leg kick, went opposite field, which is something he hasn't done. 2 years ago, he did it all the time. He's one of the best players in baseball. I think if you're asking me what the first thing I would talk about for tonight's game, I think it's time to put Jaron Duran in the leadoff spot and leave him there for a week and see what he does. This guy's a spark plug. This guy's an energy maker. It's not his fault that there's an extra outfielder on the roster. And he's been one of the odd men out. He's not the only guy. Alex Cora is doing a good job trying to balance it. But he's a guy who has struggled a little bit, and you can't work your way out of a slump when you're not playing. And he's an energy guy, and you can't bring energy when you're on a lineup. So I think it starts there. Put Duran in the leadoff spot. See if you can get this team going.
Tom, I like hearing you bring the Jaron Duran to the leadoff spot because it's a solution. And I sit here just like seeing red, and not because I enjoy seeing my favorite team in the entire city wallow like this at 9-15. It's because I see the roster, and it might not be World Series caliber, but I know it's better than this. And the only thing for me that comes to mind as far as solutions is to rely more on the young guys, including a Peyton Tolle. Obviously, Connolly Early is already here. You need a little bit more out of Roman, who's sorting through some things. What else is there besides asking the young kids to develop on the fly as well as produce at a higher level? Because at least on the outside, I'm kind of out of ideas for where they are.
Yeah, I mean, again, maybe it begins with Duran in the leadoff spot, and part of that, assuming his back's okay, is moving Roman Anthony down. They did it with Trevor Story, and it worked. Trevor Story's been better since they moved him out of the 2-hole, right? And Alex Cora at the time was saying, the thing about batting second is if Anthony doesn't get on, now you're essentially a leadoff hitter, and you are putting pressure on yourself to make something happen. Let's get him down in the 4, 5, 6 spot where other guys are getting on base. He can simplify things and just try to do something good for the team, move the runner along. I think moving Anthony down there would help him right now. 2 nights ago, had a good night, had a hit and 3 walks. He's taking his walks. We know his strike zone discipline is as good as any young players in the game. And you need more of that right now. So maybe moving him in the middle helps a little bit. But, Caleb Durbin, this guy last year had bat to ball skills that put him 3rd in the National League Rookie of the Year voting. He's struggled big time. And when you watch him, the swing is huge right now. For a guy who's, a bat to ball, put the ball in play guy, he's not doing it. So I would give him a couple of days off and just say, work on the swing, just work on simplifying, relax a little bit, put the ball in play, let some other guys play, and then bring him back. I'm not saying you're taking him out. I'm saying you're sitting him down for a couple of days to work on things, take the pressure off him and say, listen, you got tonight to just work on things and watch the game and watch the approach other guys are bringing to the plate. And then you get back at it tomorrow or the day after. They're not huge things, but they're little things, and you need a spark somehow right now. I mean, the numbers are staggering. Yeah, they've had 12 games at Fenway Park. They've hit 4 home runs. Contreras has 3 of them. So only 2 guys have hit home runs at Fenway in 12 home games. The slugging now is lowest in all of Major League Baseball. We knew this was a team that wasn't going to hit a lot of home runs. Okay, but you can survive like that, but you got to hit doubles. You got to hit it to the gap. You got to get guys on base so you can use your athleticism and steal a bag. You can't steal first base. They're not getting on base, so they're down near the bottom in stolen bases this year, which you didn't expect. They've all got to, we've talked so much about new school, old school. I wonder sometimes if there's just so much information, so many numbers, so much analytics being thrown at these guys right now. It's great when you're feeling confident and you can use those numbers to get an edge, but man, I mean, if you got, you golf, the last thing you want to hear is 6 different things that are wrong with your swing right now. Give me one thing and tell me I'm a pretty good golfer and send me on my way. It helps. So I think they need to just simplify the whole thing.
All right, Tom, as I was leaving yesterday, I believe, did you have a sit down with Craig Breslow? I know you guys were talking about how many strikes the team has been taking. I saw one of the graphics for that. What was some of the other takeaways with your sit down with Craig Breslow?
I think the biggest thing, and he joined us live on a pregame show as he does, and I think the biggest takeaway is they believe in this group. They think this is the group that'll get them out of this. I asked him, and I thought this is a pretty important distinction. Is it personnel or is it approach? Is it the roster? Is it the players? Or is it the approach they're taking at the plate right now, talking about the offense? And, the first thing he said was, before we can address how to help this group, we need this group to start playing up to its potential. So maybe it's a little bit of fence straddling there, but it's basically both, right? The group is not living up to its potential, therefore the approach is not working. But I thought that was interesting. I also thought it was interesting at the end. I asked him, and I hadn't really asked him this since the season started. Did the World Baseball Classic affect this team in a negative way? Were there too many guys gone for too much of camp? And he said, yeah, which surprised me that he came out and said, yeah. He said, there's not much you can do about it because it's a good event. And if you have good players, they're going to get asked to play in the World Baseball Classic. But, he said, and I don't think he said we didn't give enough credit to it, but he basically said you can't overlook the fact that chemistry matters. The team building part of spring training was really upended. That you didn't just have 16 guys gone for a long time. You had 7 or 8 guys gone till the very end of it. So they were gone for 3 weeks. They returned with like 5 days left in spring training. I think when you look back on the struggles this team had at the beginning of the year, when we talk about leadership, it's hard to have leadership when your best players are playing in Houston and Miami and San Juan and Tokyo and not in Fort Myers. So I was impressed that he said, yeah, in the end, again, I wasn't asking him as an excuse. But he said, yeah, and I don't know how you change it. Maybe you have a limit. Each team can only give away so many players for the World Baseball Classic, but I think it hurt this team more than most.
Tom, when you talk about the approach there in the game plan, you talked about sort of where Jaron Duran's at, where Caleb Durbin's at. What about Alex Cora from a managerial standpoint? Because we've seen him in very different scenarios, whether he's fully locked in 2018 or maybe a couple of years ago before the extension, he was maybe a little detached and then got locked back in. What are you seeing and engaging from the things he's saying every night after these tough games?
I think frustration is obviously the first word that comes into play. Last night, I think it was telling that the very first thing he brought up in the post-game press conference was when they had, was it the 5th inning? They had, or it was earlier than that, the 4th inning. They had 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. And the next 3 guys struck out. The Red Sox are batting 161 with runners in scoring position and no outs. And that's when you just got to make contact and move the runner along, and they are not doing it. And you had a chance on Max Fried, and you get one shot at a guy like that, and you did nothing with it. So I think there's frustration. I think we've seen him try to get this team to play a little more small ball. We've seen a little more bunting. We've seen a little more, when they are on, they are stealing bags, just try to manufacture something. But he's not a guy who's going to start flipping the lineup because It's like Terry Francona used to always say with team meetings. It's great to have a team meeting, but what if you lose after the team meeting? You have another team meeting? If you flip the lineup and you get nothing out of it, then what? Do you flip it again? Now every night you're just throwing names up against the wall. He's not going to do that. But I do think one of his strengths is transparency. So when we talk about Duran being out for a few games, Masataka Yoshida has their best batting average, and he's hardly gotten in the lineup. I think Cora does a pretty good job at explaining those things. I always go back to the 2018 World Series. Brock Holt hit for the cycle. He was the first player in baseball history to hit for a cycle in a playoff game, and he wasn't in the starting lineup the next day. And he was fine with it because that was the plan. Cora had told him all along. So I do think he's good at keeping these guys from completely losing their mind through a slump. But man, this offensive slump right now, it's as bad as I've ever seen, and it's lasted longer than I ever thought.
All right, Tom, if we're being honest, we all know that this hurts more and it sucks more because the Yankees are in town. And they're the team that the Red Sox have scored just one run in the last two games. And when I first talked to you, I want to say sometime last year, I described you for what you are, a beacon of professionalism in the town, particularly in television. Fred objected. I said it again. We had good laughs. I would like now to set the professionalism aside, and I am just so curious, how much hate does Tom Caron allow himself for the New York Yankees? Like, if I asked you, do the Yankees suck? What does Tom Caron say?
Do the Yankees suck? Well, they don't suck this year. They're in first place. Yeah, I mean, I grew up here. I hate the Yankees.
Yes, all right.
I mean, I'm not wearing pinstripes on the show tonight, right? We just had this conversation with Jim Rice, who's a big fashion guy. I was like, can't wear Yankees in town. I love the rivalry. I love when they're both good and it matters. I love that they ran into each other in the playoffs last year. Go back to 2021. Nathan Eovaldi telling me that he had to step off the rubber before the first pitch of that wild card game because Fenway was shaking before the game even began. That's what makes baseball great. Playing against somebody you hate is what makes baseball great. My problem is half the time, like right now, Red Sox don't hate the Yankees. And I said in the postgame show last night, usually we're sitting here and it's all about the Colorado Rockies right now. This is all about the Red Sox getting out of their own head. And that's what really upsets me about this series right now. This should be, when I saw the schedule in January, you circle this one. First meeting of the year between the Red Sox and Yankees. They played in the wild card last year. Red Sox had them on the ropes in game 2, let them get away, and they lost the series. Now this is the first chapter in the renewal. Nah, it's the Yankees pitching way better than the Red Sox are, which is the surprise. You thought the Red Sox were built on pitching, and their pitching hasn't been up to it. And then you see what you lack when you don't have the thump in the lineup. Ahmed Rosario hits a 3-run homer in the first inning last night, and the air is just sucked out of Fenway. Stanton, forget the home run 2 nights ago. It was the double when it was a changeup 3 inches outside the zone off the plate, and he reached out and muscled it to the wall. Red Sox don't have that. And Ben Rice has 8 home runs. Ben Rice and Aaron Judge combined for more homers than the entire Red Sox staff. So it's a long, rambling question because I'm frustrated. But yeah, I mean, I want to hate the Yankees. It's just hard to hate them right now because you got your own problems.
I think you have to lean into the hate. We need to lean into everything that the Sith Lords and all the evil folks in Star Wars said. Just give in to the hate, and especially tonight, because this is also the reason I bring this up. Cam Schlittler, I think, is one of the best characters we have had in this rivalry in a long time. As someone who obviously grew up here, has been vocal about his fear or distaste for everything that's gone on when he comes to Fenway Park. Tonight is about Peyton Tolley, but it's also about Cam Schlittler, and I can't wait to see tonight. I hope there are fireworks, not in terms of Ryan Dempster throwing at A-Rod or anything else, or Jason Varitek throwing a punch, but I need a little juice. There cannot be a tasteless Red Sox-Yankee rivalry. If the team's going to be boring as they struggle, fine. But I think we need some spice tonight, and I think Cam Schlittler, as much as Red Sox fans do not want to see him, particularly after the playoffs last year, I am so glad that he is here and in this moment because this is their opportunity to stick with Star Wars, to strike back.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, and I like that it's Tolley because he's fearless, and yeah, I love the guy. He shows emotions. If he strikes out a guy with a Yankee tonight with a couple guys on, he's going to come off that mound pumping his fist and yelling. Schlittler, it's a great point, right? He's the local boy who's now turned into the villain, and he's not afraid to go inside. I feel Wilson Contreras is a guy to watch tonight because A, he doesn't like getting hit. B, he's been pretty vocal about, this is unacceptable. I mean, we're up there in the center field studio we have, and I'm sitting there Monday night, or whatever night it's today, the first night of the game, Tuesday night, and the first night of the series. And I'm sitting up there and I'm looking at Jim Rice. I'm like, the crowd's even quiet. Like, no, I haven't seen, security rushing out into the bleachers once tonight. Like, where's the passion? Not that I want any violence in the bleachers. I'm not saying that.
Just a lot of drinking. That's all you want.
Red Sox-Yankees game, yeah. I mean, Monday you had guys drinking out of shoes, which was disgusting. But, it's like now this quiet crowd. So I'm with you. Tonight, you want to get out of it. You're going to get on a plane and go to Baltimore after. You got American League East games coming up. You're going to go on the road. It's your last game of April at Fenway. Let's get fired up. Let Schlittler hear it. Let Tolle have some emotion. Maybe tonight is the night that you win a game like this, it breaks you out of your funk and you get going. So let's do that.
Yeah.
All right, Tom. Nesson Plus tonight?
Nesson Plus. Nesson pregame show because I have it in my contract. No, it's just because of the timing. But we'll be with the Nesson pregame shows at 5. It's an early game because I think it's on Fox outside of New England or FS1. So the game's at 6. So we're on Nesson 5 to 6. Then at 6, it's the Bruins pregame show on Nesson with the Red Sox game on Nesson Plus. Joe, as you know, you can see it all on the Nesson 360 app.
That's right. And Boston's entered the chat 3 to 5 today.
Oh, you guys are early.
The pregame show to Tom Caron and the Red Sox pregame show. All right, Tom. I'll see you tonight, man. I know you're frustrated. I thank you for sharing your frustrations.
I got to vent somewhere. I'd be doing this muttering into my coffee, reading the paper. So I might as well do it with you guys. Thanks.
The couch is always available here on 98.5 The Sports. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Tom Caron, everybody. He's frustrated. Ooh, the Cam Schlittler thing. I wasn't thinking about that.
Spicy, man. We got to get something,
Something's going to happen. You know what? What do we have next? Yeah, I want to talk about something.
Something.
I got stuff.
We're going to talk something.
Let's give them something to talk about. All right, let's go to break. We got a headline here from Michael Hurley. Andrew Callahan's here. I'm Joe Murray, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines.
Some Patriots news breaking overnight as head coach Mike Vrabel told ESPN that he will not be around for day 3 of the NFL draft on Saturday as he seeks counseling with his family, saying, quote, "This is something that I have given a lot of thought to and is something I would advise a player to do if I was counseling them." Red Sox 4-1 losers to the Yankees last night. Boston now 9-15 on the season, second worst record in the AL, third worst OPS in Major League Baseball. Series finale, as you just heard, gets underway early tonight at 6:10 with Peyton Tolle on the hill for Boston against Cam Schlittler. In actual fun times, playoff hockey returns to Boston tonight for the first time in 2 years as the Bruins host the Sabres in Game 3 of their first round series. That series all tied up at 1 game apiece. Puck drop at 7, pregame at 6:30 here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Sports Hub headlines brought to you by Catches Law. At Catches, they specialize in helping those who have been injured not only from a one-time incident, but from a lifetime of hard work and labor. Does this sound like you? Visit catcheslaw.com. I'm Michael Hurley. Next update at 9 o'clock.
More Toucher and
side today, and they just said that, this cold weather, you're going to start to see a lot more home runs. They had a lot of home runs last week. It was 80 degrees in New York City. So, listen, let's get a little home cooking, little warm weather, and hopefully get going. But it has been frustrating.
Oh, back here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. We just had Tom Caron on. Craig Breslow did talk yesterday, so I'm glad you heard from Tom what Craig said. That was Sam Kennedy the night before talking about the Red Sox and why the ball isn't going over the fence. He thinks it's the cold weather. What was the temperature last night?
44.
And there was a home run, right, in the game from the Yankees side?
Couple. Were there more than one, or was
just
it
the one?
Just the one. That was. Oh, you know what?
You were thinking the other night.
Such an absolute blast. I thought it was more than one home run, but sorry, it was just the one.
I don't like that one.
No,
that one I'm not buying. I don't like that one. And do you think they're running out of things to talk about now? Like, do you think it's now becoming, well, there's got to be a reason why. The World Baseball Classic, right? Didn't we just, was that one we just did?
Yeah.
Didn't we just have that conversation?
I didn't like that Tom felt that way. I understand the case. To me, it's just a matter of what is spring training for? You're playing baseball. You're warming up. And what are they trying to do now? You're trying to play baseball. So
I'll buy it on like pitchers. Maybe.
Yeah, I just don't like it.
It could mess with pitching but that's not the Red Sox issue.
It smells.
Who?
Well, if we're talking noises coming out of faces, every 7 words there, you got to from. I don't know if that was like the extreme.
No, I picked up on that too. Let's just bring back the first 7 seconds of that again.
We got to start hitting the ball out of the ballpark. It's guys are going to start to heat up and
slurp
like a snake.
Sometimes when I try to be careful, I always go,
That to me is, I got to think of an answer here. Why we aren't hitting home runs? The weather, that's the ticket.
Do you guys believe that Roman Anthony had a back injury last night?
I was glad this didn't come up on BST last night, so thanks for dropping this now. I do, and I think it's because he's also someone that you are absolutely, maybe more than any other player in the roster, taking a longer-term consideration with, right? Like, an injury to Roman Anthony is the face of your franchise, the bedrock upon which you want to build a new contender. Like, it's just going to throw everything sideways. We've already seen it when he can't throw any way but sideways and what that does to their defense in the team. Even if he's 50%, I'm happy to sit him because I need him at 100 moving forward May, June, July, August, September, and 27, 28, 29. So it might not be that serious, but you understand, I don't want to build up that history. So I do think there was something there. You think it was BS?
I think they're just trying to get everybody in the lineup and trying to every day just, last night Duran needed to play. He had 3 hits. It worked. I do agree that maybe he should go back to the leadoff spot.
I like that idea.
And I don't know who hit second. I don't know. Do they have a contact 2 hitter?
Joe, there's no.
I can't do this.
Sorry, I won't do it.
There is no.
It's good audio.
It's great audio.
There's no correct lineup to put out there. They just do not have a complete lineup. Theoretically, Caleb Durbin's a 2-hitter, right? Mm-hmm. In reality, he's barely an 8 or 9 hitter right now.
What about your over 30 league? I think this is, what if you're like.
There's a couple guys, players.
A couple guys who can bat second.
Yeah. There's this one dude. He stole 70 bases last year. Disrespectful, in my opinion. Some of us are just trying to not get hurt.
Yeah. How about this? The last 50 at bats for Abreu, 5 hits. Sorry, 30 at bats. 5 for 30. That's 167. Joe math. That means that since they've moved him to the 3 spot, he's batting 167 with 5 singles.
Because he was raking in the 5-6 spot, and everyone said you got to move him up.
You're right. I don't know what they do anymore. Do they make a move? Do they cut somebody? Do they make a trade?
I mean,
Or
I
is it
think
like-
they should have dealt Durant over a year ago and tried to sell high on him. And they apparently thought he was, MVP caliber, and that's why they held on to him. And we all heard the reports about the gap between them and the Twins, talking about Joe Ryan, and it just never even got remotely close. I think Hurley's point is a good one, but the solution is everyone just plays a little bit better, and that makes for crappy analysis and analysis both from them in the locker room and from us after the games. But that's really just what it is. And the tough part is you're asking either guys who are new or young to come through. But, look, these are the players that were chosen. This is the roster that was built. And until they trade one of those outfielders, we'll have this musical chairs and injuries that we question every once in a while. Was that really hurt there? Do you really need that? Or can you play? Because you're young and spry, I thought. On the point about lineup construction, though, I saw this tweet last night. It's gold. It's from Jacob at and that's BB. He says, I miss old lineup construction. Number 1 was your fastest player. Number 2 was a bat control guy. Number 3 was your best all-around hitter. 4 was your best power hitter. 5 is a lumbering dude. 6 is high OBP. It's like Bill Miller's hanging around here at 6 sometimes. 7 is your bad switch hitter. Your catcher bats 8th. 9 is someone who has a gold glove defender. That is 3.3 million views because I think Jacob absolutely nailed that on the head.
Not new baseball.
No, Aaron Judge.
Yeah. New baseball. I don't get new baseball.
You want him up the most, I get, but you also want him up with runners on base. Solo home runs don't win you many games.
The Red Sox had 15 home runs at home last April. It was pretty cold here last April.
How many home runs did the Red Sox hit in the World Baseball Classic?
Durant had one. Abreu had.
I want to say it was like
Abreu had a couple.
Either maybe 11 or 12.
Yoshida hit one.
Yep. Nate Eaton hit one.
But it was warm, Joe.
Oh,
it was warm down there. Yeah, that's the difference. That's the ticket.
Well, that's the thing, Joe. Will it make the team better if you streamline your roster? Maybe not, but you do have just extra players. I mentioned Yoshida. You have 5 guys for 4 spots in the outfield and DH, and you've got 3 guys for 2 spots at second base and third base, and none are really earning playing time. So I don't think you get anything if you get rid of, say, Kiner Falefa in there. Like I think Monasterio is better than him. Probably better than Durbin at this point, but you're not going to get rid of those guys. But I think.
And then where does Marcelo Meyer fit in here? And what about his development?
And does Trevor Story have to play every day? Your cleanup hitter? There's no good lineup.
Oh, the pivot.
How about this? Andrew got us a little excited, like Tolley. There could be some fire there. We know Schlittler's he's begging for people to boom and stuff. Tom Caron bringing up Wilson Contreras, that could be a little sparky tonight. They need it.
Definite sparks. Also, I think loser attitude. You don't want to be hit. Stand a little further away from the plate. It's your prerogative, but we all know the risks involved when you stand inside the plate. And you lead the league in getting hit. That's a you thing, not the 29 other teams are out to get me thing.
I know we're up against it, but I hated that they pulled Suarez with 71 pitches last night. And you know who else hated it? Suarez. So that dugout, when does it become the morale issue? When does it be? And that guy made $130 million. That was the pivot guy. And now he's the pissed off guy. Being pulled 71 pitches last night. All right, we're going to talk to Alex Barth. It's draft night. Maybe you should throw some names at him. Just start firing guys and what school they went to.
Buzz.
That should be fun. The buzz is here. It's the draft night. And I know the Bruins play tonight. We got emails. We got the stack. We got all that. It's the final hour of the show coming up next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Vrabel told ESPN he will not be present for day 3 of the draft on Saturday, saying he will be seeking counseling with his family. As for the Red Sox, vibes are low. They lost their second straight to the Yankees, but tonight could be a fun one. Cam Schlittler starting for New York, Peyton Tolley on the mound for Boston getting the call in the absence of Sonny Gray. The Walpole native for the Yankees expects to hear some boos from the Yankees after getting into some social media spats with Boston fans following last year's playoff game. Celtics getting an extra night of rest before resuming their series in Philly tomorrow. Bruins back in action tonight at the TD Garden against the Sabres. Head coach Lindy Ruff did not say whether to be Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen or Alex Lyon as his starting goaltender for this one. Puck drop at 7. Pre-game coverage on the Sports Hub starts at 6:30. Sports Hub headlines brought to you by the 99. Visit the Nines for Prime Rib Lovers Weekend. Enjoy a prime rib and get a free 3-course meal upgrade Friday after 4 p.m. and all day Saturday and Sunday. You gotta love the Nines. I'm Michael Hurley. Next update in 30 minutes.
Boston Talk Sports.
Trade Drake May. We all know what, but we won't say what. Yeah, worst take on these airwaves in the last 24 hours.
We may not take a call today.
The Sports.
It's never changed. It's never changed. It's the same thing over and over and over and over. It's just never good. It wasn't funny the first time.
Toucher and Hardy, mornings on the Sports Hub.
My simple daddy, don't you know that things go in cycles? My simple daddy, don't you know that things go in cycles? My simple daddy, don't you know that things go
All right, final hour here of Toucher and Hardy. Man, school vacation week, huh, guys?
Some of us are blessed enough to be heading to the aquarium after this.
Oh!
See the fishies.
No, I love the aquarium.
Well, at least you'll have the place to yourself and there won't be anyone there with you. Mike.
Shouldn't be that crowded. Yeah, I looked. It's sold out like every spot this morning.
I like the penguins right when you walk in.
Love the penguins.
Some good food nearby.
You know what I do a lot when my older kids were little? We would just go outside and see the little sea lions popping around and be like, all right, we went to the aquarium.
I like the aquarium. They have ramps when the lights change and your clothes light up, and you can play with the starfish.
You want to come?
Not today.
You want to replace me?
No.
What if we both went? I got time before the draft. You got time before
I gotta work.
Boston's entered the chat.
Yeah, that's right.
You got a nice window
We
there.
just go up until lunch. You know what's there? The chart house.
The chart house rules. Oh, my God. There's a lot of good stuff over there.
This is bring your work.
Don't know if I can fit it in today, guys. Don't know if I can. Don't know.
Bring your work to family day. I think this is what this is.
I like that.
Bring your work to family.
Alex Barth. Hello, sir.
What's going on, guys? If you're going to the chart house, let me know if you need a fourth.
Oh, we go. Okay. It's like a golf group now.
Barth, happy Super Bowl, buddy.
Thank you very well. No, the Super Bowl is still the Super Bowl. And when I came on, Adam wished me a Merry Christmas. That's what an odd number of people have been saying. So,
all right, Alex. Before we talk the draft, 12-10 last night, we got the through Mike Reese. We got the statement from Mike Vrabel. What were your thoughts on the approach and the statement from Mike Vrabel and the Patriots?
yeah, I mean, obviously surprising, especially after he'd addressed it on Tuesday, and that kind of felt like it was, supposed to be them putting it to bed. I heard the clip of Andrew earlier. Like, I think they had to get out in front of this because we see those clips in the war room. And hey, why is it Mike Vrabel on the phone with any of these players? Why aren't we seeing him? Like, that would have been a much bigger story. So I think it was something they had to get, they had to mention before we saw that. Obviously, you'd like your coach there for the draft. He's an important part of their decision-making. You'd hope, like, they've been running through scenarios and talking about these players for months now. So they should know kind of where he stands on a lot of these guys. Obviously, you can't drill every single scenario, every single permutation of what it's going to look like when they're on the clock at 125, 131, on and on and on. So not ideal that he's not there, but if this is what he has to do for his family and to take care of himself in his personal life, as he said, it was something he would encourage a player to do in a similar circumstance. So they're going to have to lean on that work that they did leading up to the draft to get by without him.
Alex, putting that aside, because you and I are aligned, I think everyone listening to this is, if counseling is best for you, if therapy is best for you, your family, go do it. Sincerely, all of the best. But strictly in the sense of an NFL head coach was embroiled in a controversy, called the insinuation that it was a controversy laughable. 2 weeks later, comes out and makes a statement, seems to put it to bed, but doesn't take any questions. And then a day later announces when the Patriots draft up to 8 players on day 3, he will not be there and, in fact, will be away to seek counseling. Like, where are you just in this story personally?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think the thing that keeps coming back is that statement that he gave to Page Six initially. And how different would this look if that statement had been different? For me, it was a lot of it. I know you said personally, but like covering the team personally, it was like, okay, how is this going to impact the football team? And I think this is I know, there's a question about where was this level of focus in the pre-draft, and that's not something we have concrete. This is the first concrete item of, okay, this is where it's now starting to bleed into it could impact the football team. Like, again, concretely.
All right, Alex. I said this off the record. That was another one that came up today. There's no chance this year that Josh McDaniels could be the coach of the team if something happened to Mike Vrabel, right?
You're saying like if Vrabel can't head coach,
I mean, could this impact his time with the Patriots this year, meaning as the head coach?
I mean, I would say it's impacting his time now for the draft. Like beyond this, I don't think so, because unless there's more to come out, right? If there's more to come out, who knows? But like as it stands right now, if he's going to take this weekend, if you're going to have to make that kind of adjustment, I would think that's something you want to get ahead of as soon as possible. And if there's a chance of that, like you got to start making contingency plans. Now, I do wonder, I know Josh McDaniels has been a head coach. They named Terrell Williams assistant head coach. Mm-hmm. So does that put him second on the, I don't know, you want to call it the coaching depth chart or whatever?
Yes.
Maybe it would, yeah, right. Maybe it would be him because, again, they've given him that title and that seemingly would put him in that position. So if something were to happen, which, again, I don't think as things stand right now, I can't imagine that happening. But if there's more to this that we don't know, I'd probably guess Terrell Williams just because, again, they gave him that title, and that, to me, puts him in that position.
And I just want to let you
maybe
know,
it puts more on Josh McDaniels' plate, certainly. But, yeah.
I just want to let you know that's me being absolutely hyperbolic.
Thank you.
That is not a situation. I just had a fear of that.
You talking about Josh McDaniels, Joe, is like drinking a fizzy lifting drink. You just soar, the feet come off the ground, all of the anxiety and the possibility sweeps us up, and then there's anger in there, and you just keep soaring till the ceiling. Yeah. And then Willy Wonka comes out and is like, what the hell are you doing, Joe, getting fingerprints all the way up here? And I started talking about Josh McDaniels, and I don't know what happened next. Putting our feet on the ground, there's no indication, and Hurley made the point earlier, of like, look, the most recent photos from the Post barely, if at all, do show Mike Vrabel, this new latest photos. I think this is the end of it. This is him taking care of, as he described, Vrabel did, a personal and private matter, doing so out of state, forget outside the facility, to hopefully take care of whatever the counseling will address. Now, Barth wants to talk about the draft.
Yes, thank you for that was my.
We're back on the ground.
I had to get that off my chest. So the draft today.
I would like Joe Worry in Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory, though. I would love just to know how that would go.
I like chocolate.
Sequel. Barth, what? I mentioned Caden McDonald as a player who we've been talking about offensive tackles and edges. Everyone has their pick. Everyone knows a name here or there. A name the Patriots could draft tonight at 31 that, if not a total sleeper, might be a mild surprise. Who is that player or two for you?
I guess Caden McDonald's probably like the obvious one because they met with him. I guess to stick to the theme of the meetings, I'll give you two. To stick to the theme of the meetings, Emmanuel Pregnan from Oregon. That's a guy they brought in for a meeting. He's supposed to be a top 40 pick. He's probably more likely with the trade back. But if, let's say, Chase Besantis goes in the first round along with Vega Ione, he's the next guard up, and maybe you can't wait. The fact that they met with those projected day 2 guards, I think, is relevant. It wouldn't surprise me a ton if they took a guard on day 2. At 31, it would certainly be a surprise. But if we're going to kind of go down that road, the other one that would be way out of left field, I think the makeup of the player is somebody they'll really like, and it's kind of like we have to take him here if we want to get him, is Jacob Rodriguez, the linebacker from Texas Tech. I just think he checks so many of their boxes. It is, there's a pipeline for him to play significantly in New England, both immediately and down the road. That would be the one where, like, okay, nobody mentioned this, but yeah, it did make a lot of sense. Looking back on it, it's just, if there really is like a best player available kind of thing, I don't know that he would be the best player at 31, but I think he's on the short list. And then again, you look at just some of the intangibles, I think lines up really well for where they're at.
Supposedly Jacob Rodriguez has some interest even ahead of the Patriots with Buffalo, who I think
I've seen that too.
That defense, is going to change under Jim Leonard, their new defensive coordinator. He certainly would have fit under Sean McDermott, just in terms of, the size and the activity that he has in coverage. So that might even be a player, forget the Patriots, that does get up there, which honestly, let's say Jacob Rodriguez does go to Buffalo. If there's still an offensive tackle on the board, any player who's not Max Inacho or Blake Miller that gets picked ahead of them is good news for the Patriots if either of those guys slide back. I just, at this point, not based on my own reporting, but reading some tea leaves and things that come up, I have a hard time imagining they get that tackle that probably makes the most sense for them at 31.
Yeah, I'm with you. I Dane Brugler on Patriots Hub podcast a couple weeks ago. People can go check that out on 985thesportshub.com. And he said, if the Patriots want a tackle they feel comfortable starting in the next 2 years, they have to take that guy in the first round. And that's referring to those top 7 guys. So I'm with you. The more we look at this, and this isn't reporting, this is just, like you said, reading the tea leaves, I think there's a real chance all 7 of those guys are gone by 31. And I don't know that they're going to be in a position to trade up realistically to get one.
Alex, Zion Young seems to be at least the mock drafts have him in the slot for the Patriots. In a perfect world, who is the best fit for the New England Patriots? And I somewhat agree with what Andrew was saying. I think a tackle would be a priority for me, but because they've already gotten the tackle last year in the draft, pass rush or edge probably seems like the right fit. Your thoughts on Zion Young, and is there anyone else in that spot that you think they could look at?
So best fit, just in terms of the edge position, I think is Cassius Howell. He's drawn a lot of comps to Harold Landry, so that kind of tells you what you need to know. He does have shorter arms, so you'd be doing that thing again. But, great get off, quick first step, bend. You talk about that speed off the edge that Elliott Wolf said that they want to add. He has that. That's where with Zion Young, look, they met with him, and there was a ton of buzz about him coming out of the combine. There's clearly something there. Like, they're clearly at least interested. Wolf said 2 weeks ago they didn't rule out anybody who came in for 30. That they didn't take anybody off their board after a 30 visit. So I think it's safe to assume Zion Young is on their board. But if they're talking about adding speed off the edge, like, Young's a power guy, and he's a hand-in-the-dirt guy, not a stand-up. He didn't play stand-up a lot at Missouri. So for the defense they've run and some of the things we've heard, he's a little bit of a square peg in a round hole. He can still rush. He just goes about it a different way. The other thing I go back and forth with, though, is I don't think it's fair to use one season and one off season as, well, these are their prototypes. These are the kind of players they want. These are the kind of players they don't want. We kind of assume, okay, last year they got all these guys in like the 250 range. We're kind of speed rushers, and so that's their type of guy. Well, what if they also want a bigger guy to help stop the run, but they just couldn't fit that addition into last offseason because they had to do so much? And this is part of the multi-year thing of building the program. And so maybe Zion Young is the guy that they couldn't add last year that now they're prioritizing adding this year because they didn't get him. Like, they found a role for Anthony Jennings last year. I think Young is a better version of that player. So he's one where, like, I can't totally see the vision, but I'm definitely not ruling him out.
All right. You and I did a podcast last night. It's on my show, Pat's Interference. We have this annual draft, Joe, where Barth and I go back and forth, and we name players that we think are the most likely Patriots draft pick. It's the most likely Patriots draft pick draft. I took one receiver. It's the only receiver that we talked about. Deshaun Stribling out of Ole Miss, who's a day 2 pick, was in here for a 30 visit, 6'2", 207, ran a 4.3 at the combine. Huge in the college football playoff. Alex, what's another receiver, day 2, maybe early day 3, that you see as a really good fit for the Patriots? And then give us a taste of another prospect that you just think screams Patriot after the first round.
Okay, so receiver, it's weird. That's a tough spot for me to figure out. And just with where they're at with the AJ Brown of it all, I almost wonder if they wait later. The guy that I don't think enough people are talking about for them that I like, let's say they wait on it, right? And okay, we feel good that we're getting AJ Brown, but we want to take a swing at a guy later. Call it one of those 4th, 6th round picks, is CJ Daniels from Miami. He is an excellent 50-50 ball, contested catch, go up and get it receiver. That's pretty much the extent of his game. Not a guy that's going to do a ton in the open field, doesn't get a ton of separation. And you might be being like, oh, they've drafted these guys and they never worked out. Yeah, but you're not talking about drafting them in the 2nd round where they've been drafting them. You're talking about maybe outside of the top 200. Getting that guy to come in and just be a red zone weapon for Drake May. Well, you have A.J. Brown and Romeo Doubs and Pop Douglas and Kyle Williams and Matt Collins, maybe Kayshon Boutte still doing all that other stuff. Like, that's a logical addition to me. So we've talked a lot about, and there's kind of been, you read between the lines with them of getting guys that work with Drake May and finding receivers that the style fits Drake May. I think CJ Daniels in a situational role has a style that fits with Drake May. Some other guys, like day 3 guys, I know one that they might draft a punter on Saturday.
What?
I really like Bryce Behringer entering the contract year. Do they want to pay him? So a guy I look at is Brett Thorson from Georgia is like the consensus #1 punter. If they don't want to take a punter in the top 200, where they'd probably have to take Thorson, look where they took Borgalis last year as the top kicker, is Jack Stonehouse from Syracuse. Very accurate. His power has improved all 4 years. And his cousin, Ryan Stonehouse, was the punter in Tennessee during Mike Vrabel's last 2 years with the Titans. So there's a name to watch for you.
We've fully barthed. It took a minute.
Yeah. Can I give you a wide receiver? Dude, you
Is
just
it a
go
TH
punter
or an
on
F
us.
there?
You just went punter on me.
Dude, I'll never forget. Barth, you might remember Behringer's rookie year. I was next to you. We were just agape at some of these punts at training camp.
We were oohing and ahhing, yes.
Oh, wow.
They've worn off since then. It's time to draft a punter. You got all these picks. You got 11 picks. Use one on a punter.
They've drafted enough special teamers, I think.
They got 11 picks.
Yeah.
Well, look, they drafted 2 last year and they were good. Worked out.
All right, who's the quarterback that they draft?
I keep going back to Baron Morton from Texas Tech.
Texas Tech, yep.
They had him in for a visit, a guy that probably would go higher if he didn't play injured basically the entirety of the last 3 years. He had a sprained AC joint for 2 years, finally got the surgery to get it fixed, comes back last year, and I think like a month and a half in, suffers a hairline fracture in his plant leg. So one of the reasons he's down on the board, I think, there's questions about his throw power, his arm strength. But to me, I have no idea how hard this guy can throw the ball. Like, we have nothing to – of course it doesn't look as good with all those injuries. It's his throwing shoulder and then, again, the leg he uses to push off. So if he came in and cleared the medicals, like, maybe you bring him in and see where he's at. We're talking about pick 247 here, obviously. The other one, they didn't have him in for a 30 visit, but they met with him, I think, at his pro day, is Sawyer Robertson from Baylor. I'm a big believer in, and they've kind of shown this, you want your backup quarterback or quarterbacks, plural, to profile similarly to your starter. So it's all the same offense and you don't have to change much. Sawyer Robertson from Baylor, bigger guy, can throw on the run, doesn't have the accuracy, obviously, like that Drake May has. This is a guy that's going to go 6th or 7th round, but a guy that same like prototype of quarterback as Drake May and as Tommy DeVito. So he'd be a little bit more of an investment, but he makes sense to me too.
The Texas Tech kid I told Barth last night, it's giving me Return of the Fever.
Oh, really?
Zappy vibes. I can't do it. I'm sorry. I can't do the Bailey Zappy experience again. They're different players. He argued we don't know that guy's arm strength because he's played in a broken leg and he's had a hurt shoulder. And I go, that's fair. I don't want a quarterback who's willingly going out there with a broken leg and a hurt shoulder. One other name, since we're talking quarterbacks, Jalen Daniels out of Kansas, who was also in for a visit, 6-year senior. A little guy, like 6 years, but untapped potential as they see it. Probably a guy you talk yourself into. We coach him up right, have him sit, learn if he's willing to do that. Also mobile, so we'll fit some of the running stuff they want to do with their quarterback run game.
I love Jalen Daniels. He's super fun to watch at Kansas. He had some injury problems earlier in his career, some turnover problems, but he's a baller. Like he and you can tell his teammates respond to him too. I'd always put Kansas on when he was playing because he's, again, just really fun guy to watch.
I always bet the over with him as well.
Yeah.
All right, Alex. So are you doing the night? Are you going to join the guys tonight on the Joe?
Yeah. I will at some point. We gotta because Matt and Ty are going to be at the Garden, and they're going to be on, and then I'll be at Gillette, and I think it's Dendero's going to kind of traffic cop the whole thing, and he's going to be air traffic control for us. But at some point, I'll be on reacting to either a pick or I'm not ruling out a trade out either. Like I think that's totally a possibility. So follow me on Twitter, Real Alex Barth. I'll let you know when I'm going to be on.
Look, Matt and Ty get at least a game 4 and 5. You get one first round of the draft. So you dominate those airwaves, and you text on Darrow and say, this is my night. We can ignore the Bruins for a little bit. You get the segments when you want. You assert yourself, my friend. This is your day, and we're all very happy that it's finally here.
It's my show. You can do it.
Yeah, there we go.
It is. Except if they trade back, isn't that kind of like the series going to a 5th game instead of being a sweep?
You just dominate.
Now I get Friday night.
You treat that show like Jason Tatum was dribbling out every possession the other night, and everyone's going, okay, he's going to do something now. And you can just wind out the clock until the break. It's your ball.
Alex, good luck tonight.
They trade out. That's probably what I'll do.
Good luck tonight, my man.
See you soon, buddy.
Thanks, guys.
It's Alex Barth, everybody. It's his day. It is Barthy day. We got Barth, though. He went with a punter.
I love that. And he had familial connections to the Mike Vrabel Titans.
Stonehouse.
They need a punter.
Do they really?
Yeah. Not a good year for Behringer. Too bad. You got to push him. They just compete. Though if you draft a punter, he's got to make the team.
We got emails, we get the stack, and we got to talk about the Bees who played tonight as well. Let's get to the headline. Now, no, it's coming up on the other side on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on The Sports Hub.
Powered by Jeffrey Glassman Injury Lawyers. If you've been hurt in a car or work accident, you got to get Glassman. Don't just send an email. Call all 617-777-7777. Or visit gottagetglassman.com. I wanted to talk about the Bruins tonight, but any emails today? We should shout out that guy. We figured out the date on the photo that you had.
Yeah, we did.
Which was the date again? I'm sorry.
June 15th, 1992.
Okay. Also, someone has made an AI video of the AI version of Joey Murr in Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory.
You look good. That Wonka bar, first of all, because the only place I've seen that is inside the movie, still looks delicious. So this is like nostalgia reaching all the way back. You don't look like you're having a great time, though.
Yeah, that's AI. Not sure where they found that one. By the way, the Willy Wonka stuff, I'm out on new remakes and all that. I think there's another one coming out now.
Another one?
Yeah.
Wow.
We already did that.
I know. Talk about that. His grandfather that laid in bed and did nothing forever. That guy. Anyways.
I'm at a time in my life, mid-30s now, where I'm starting to feel music was better back in my day. Don't make this movie. It was great as it is. Or generally speaking, life was better back when. And now for me, that's like late 90s. Everyone's done this for generations. Mine is the first to be right. Late 90s, no complaints.
Yeah.
Peaceful, good economy, hanging out. Baseball was at its peak. We had home runs that Sam Kennedy apparently thinks that can be neutralized by cold weather. I don't know. Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire did fine. 1998, bring me back. First generation. I'm right.
You can't, you'll never again get the Family Values Tour CD like you did back in 99.
Thank goodness.
There we go.
And in 1994, which I think was the greatest music genre of all time, I just remember like 1994 had a lot of 92 I think was Chronic. But what was Green Day Dookie? What year?
94.
94.
Blue Album from Weezer was 94.
Yes.
94 was nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was just a great year
good
of
music,
life.
yeah.
By the way, it's a sequel, Wonka.
Oh, it's a
Chalamet
sequel.
coming back. Wonka 2. Not sure what it'll be about.
What about the new Baywatch? How do you guys feel about that?
I didn't know there was a new Baywatch.
Livy Dunn will be in that one.
I enjoyed the one we talked about, The Rock, earlier. That was a great thing to just stare at and not pay attention to.
I did not see it.
You just kind of like, oh yeah, that's a movie happening.
Also true for Baywatch.
Yeah.
But the old Baywatch, Pamela.
Yes.
And Yasmin Bleeth. I think Carmen Electra might have been on there at one point. Was Jenny McCarthy on there, or was she a playmate? I don't know. I'm losing my... They were all playmates, I think, at one point, right?
The way you said Pamela.
Pamela?
You know what that reminded me of?
Borat.
Yes, okay.
Yeah,
good,
that's where it came
It's like,
from.
okay. It's like, this is a 20-year reference, yeah.
Nice. Hey, Roman Anthony's not in the lineup tonight.
Oh! So real injury.
Alex Cora said that this morning. He told me. He's out of the lineup. So he will not be there tonight. And there is a Bruins game tonight. I ask you guys, Uka, Pekka, Luukkonen. Uka.
4 U's, 6 K's, 1 L.
That's right. I can't believe that knuckle puck that he let through. That's why you got to bench him tonight. I talked to Judd Surratt last night, and he said that they think he'll go Alex Lyon. You guys' thoughts on the goalie situation for Buffalo?
I think they got to make the change because it's also early enough in the series where if Lyon is just as bad, if not worse, you can always go back. If you fall down 2-1, you make a goalie change, you got to stick with it. Because, look, you could take it the other way as, oh, this ruins the kid's confidence. I mean, you just say, look, we have at least 3 more games. So hang in there, get right. But that goal that you mentioned, I had to watch 4 times to make sure it wasn't AI when I saw the highlight on my phone because it makes no sense.
That was bad.
Bad in a bad spot, too.
And
it's just the whole team deflates.
I feel, though, it was because Geeky screwed up in game 1 with a wide open net. Maybe it's just the gods were on his side there.
Yeah.
The Swayman timeout, I thought he called the timeout. It sounds as though maybe Sturm might have called it and Swayman just kind of showed it during the moment. I just think it's great. I actually didn't know a player could call timeout. And I actually still don't know if that's true. I think it has to come from the bench. So that was one thing. And then I just love what Marco Sturm has done with the team this year. He called out that second line, said they needed more, and Victor Arvidsson with a goal. Pavel Zacha, who's just not been good in the playoffs ever. He had a goal. It's great to see what that second line's doing. Obviously, in the first game, Pastrnak, even Lindholm got in on the action. So I'm wondering what it's like tonight, where the Bees are a great home team. I think Higgins has played pretty well despite a penalty that he had the other night. What'd you think of the Charlie McAvoy hit? Thought it was kind of dirty. And Lindy Ruff kind of laughed it off, but they know what Sturm said. He knows that Sturm said they're the bigger, tougher team. So I'm curious if they play that style. And Tage Thompson being in the box probably didn't help at all in that third period. So I am curious if they play a cleaner game tonight.
I mean, it's been a nasty series. So in a vacuum, you look at that hit and you're like, oh, cheap shot. In the context of this series, it's about par for the course. These guys, it's always funny, like, it is kind of normal for this to be in the Stanley Cup playoffs, but this level of hatred and nastiness, every whistle, every time Swayman covers the puck, there is a 5-on-5 brawl right around his space. So I think in the context of that, McAvoy was playing the game as the game was being played. But sure, the Sabres are going to be pissed about that, and you got to be head on a swivel for something coming back the other way. I wonder if the NHL has enjoyed these two games and enjoyed the chippiness and enjoyed the violence. I wonder if there's a mandate tonight. I don't know who's reffing the game to kind of be like, hey, early whistles. We can't be having this tonight because, I don't know, there's a history in this town. And violent hockey games can get a little bit crazy. So I wonder if this game they'll put the clamps on it early.
The thing is, though, I don't want them to change how the series is being officiated midway through the series. Like, I get needing to take control, and I agree the hit was closer to dirty than being clean. But for me, like, I think this speaks to, you mentioned Sturm, him Jedi mind tricking the Sabres into kind of playing on the Bruins' terms. Like, they do need to meet the physicality, but they don't need to exceed it in a way that kind of takes them out of their own game. And for the Bruins, look, you've controlled play. Obviously had a horrible end to game one, but they had earned more chances. The geeky one obviously missed at the end of the first period in game one to say, we're just fine. We just need to cut it out with the giveaways. And if, of course, you do get more early whistles, the Bruins as penalized as they've been all season, that would give me some concern because I just think Buffalo's a bit more skilled. And if we're going to eliminate some of the physicality that's played to the Bruins' advantage, you have to play another card. And I just don't think they have many others other than Swayman standing on his head, which obviously he can do.
He's been the best goalie, no doubt, in the series. And it is about the guys in front of him and defense. And they've been the best home team in hockey this year. They need to show it in these next two games. This is why you're here, right? You won a game on the road. You've been the better team through two games. Now you come home. I looked at the betting odds. Both teams minus 110, so right down the middle.
And the Sabres came to Boston twice. They were October 11th and October 30th, so not much to take away from those ones right now.
Yeah. We get the stat coming up on the other side. So we reacted to the Mike Vrabel stuff off the bat. There's been now 3 hours or so of the other news outlets getting in. There are takes galore, guys. Mike Florio calling out the Patriots right now. Clay Travis had some thoughts. We'll do all that on the other side. We get the stack coming up next. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Best friends you can be, my buddy and me.
Now, more of your best morning buddies, Toucher and Hardy, on the Sports Hub. We know what you're thinking. What could I possibly have missed from the show? It's time for The Stack on Toucher and Hardy.
All right, final segment here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. I saw Michael Hawley walk in. I seen Paul Perillo walk in.
Yes.
Is Tim McCone here as well?
I believe he is. Is Tim McCone here as well, Nicholas? We haven't seen him.
Well, there is a plethora of people here today.
Nicholas!
Fellow Roger Williams Hawk, Tim McCone.
Oh.
Making us all proud running the marathon.
Yeah, that's right. He just finished the marathon. I think he did 3 hours, 38 minutes, I want to say, which I would never be able to do, so I commend him on something I could never do. Just to recap something we started the show with today and overnight, Mike Vrabel issued a statement to ESPN saying, as I said the other day, I promised my family, this organization, and the team I was going to give them the best version of me that I can possibly give them. In order to do so, I've committed to seeking counseling starting this weekend. This is something that I've given a lot of thought and something I would advise a player to do if I was counseling them. I've always wanted to lead by example and believe this is what I have to do to be the best husband, father, and coach I can possibly be. This is not an easy thing for me to admit, but it is one that I know will make me a better person. I appreciate the support that everyone has given me and promise a stronger resolve as a result. So, people are now starting to give their opinions on this. Before we get into that, your guys' thoughts on the statement once again.
So I'll reiterate my chief stance is I encourage anyone who believes that counseling and therapy might help them to go pursue it, seek it, commit to it. It is an incredible resource, and as he touches upon there, he says it's difficult for him to admit it, but he does. And look, we can speculate about whether this is something that he was led into, chose to do on his own volition. Missing day 3 of the draft as an NFL head coach is a strange thing. So clearly there's something here that has driven him that maybe he didn't even expect, because you would figure he would have announced this Tuesday when he made a statement and then did not take any questions regarding the controversy, which he's now released 3 statements about. After that, I'm not willing to go into those speculative waters, but I do think it is more clear now more than ever that this week for Mike and for the Patriots has not been about setting the record straight. It's been about trying to regain control of a story that has controlled him for the last 2 weeks while he waited to talk, supposedly to wait to tell the players first, like he couldn't pick up the phone. And that's their prerogative. This has all been his prerogative. But to me, it just undercuts their efforts when it's clear that the honesty and sincerity that was missing from his first statement is not really coming through now in the way they've chosen to handle this process to, again, regain control rather than set the record straight.
Well said. Well said. And I would add, you're trying to be accountable. You're trying to be forthright. You do a press conference unannounced. You make everyone turn their cameras off after the prepared statement. And then you do this at midnight, the day before the draft. It's just, why not? I think they're being overly cautious about, or overly, it creates this level of secrecy and shade that is making people more suspicious. And it's sort of raising more alarms like, well, why would they do this at midnight, the day of round 1 of the NFL draft?
Or announce 2 players and then bring out the coach or any of these things.
Just
the multiple different ways of handling it is fishy. It's smelly.
And not to downplay the incident. Like, it's a serious matter privately, mostly. The fact that it involves an NFL reporter makes it sort of it crosses into the football part of it, but it's not something you necessarily need to be this secretive about. I think people would appreciate it more if you just came forthright. Mike Vrabel's talking tomorrow. Get your cameras there, and it sucks for him, but at least it would get it over with. I think by doing it this way, it prolongs all of that intrigue.
Well, real quick, the statement he made Tuesday, I think that the issue I had with it, and I wrote about today for the Herald, because I really took some time to think about it. I was not there. I was away for family reasons, and Doug was there in person. It wasn't particularly personal. You can't look at that statement and point out many sentences that start with I think or I feel. And some of the I feel sentences are he's excited about coaching the team, and you want to do right by your family. But these are all broad beliefs and principles. There's nothing specific, and I don't need salacious detail. I just want to know, for a guy who described the insinuation that those photos were anything other than instant is laughable, how would he describe what's happened to them since? Because that tells me how he relates to these events, as something that he brought upon himself, as something that happened to him. Is there any accountability he actually feels? Because we don't know. I think making the statement was much better than the 2 sentences. Those 2 minutes Tuesday, much better than the 2 sentences he gave a couple of weeks ago. But this statement now about going into counseling, sincerely, all the best to him. I just think it's been a strange road to get here, and along the way, they've only invited more questions as we go deeper into this that maybe, frankly, didn't even have to last this long.
Mike Florio calls the Patriots' control of the Mike Vrabel situation Bush League. Thought that was pretty damning. Also, Clay Travis. Mike Vrabel missing day 3 of the draft for counseling is super weird. He couldn't start the counseling on Sunday or Monday instead. Feels like an unannounced yet also strained Patriots punishment that draws more needless attention to the story.
I don't think that would not benefit the team. I don't think if you want to punish Vrabel, that would not be the way to do it.
No, and that's the thing. Like, the NFL is not going to wield the personal conduct policy because it doesn't have to. Like, their ethics and their morals, their only governor is their business, and like that's fine. But I just think if you want to be the guy who's about accountability, and honesty, he owes his players and coaches first and foremost. But if you're going to make a statement, I'd say make a statement. And so that's why you mentioned Florio called it Bush League. He says Vrabel's a grown man, 50 years old, entering his 8th season as a head coach. He can answer questions on all relevant subjects, particularly one he addressed in vague general terms in his statement. Vrabel's as good as Belichick was, and maybe even better at deflecting questions. Like, that's my thing. I would trust him. Say, you got this, and you can handle it. Take a couple, get in, get out, because that would affirm what he's saying, that you're willing to stand up there and take it. And in the meantime, he'll go take care of business with his family, and I hope that goes well, because I hope that for everyone.
All right, Mike Hurley, great job today, sir. Awesome. I know you'll be up all night watching the draft.
Might not make it. Might not make it. We'll see.
Enjoy the aquarium. Andrew Callahan's back tomorrow with Michael Hawley, and I will be here, and hopefully everybody else will too. We'll talk to you guys